People starting to come in on the berms here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium, and this is going to be a fun game today.
Purple, red, and white are the colors of the day here in Arkadelphia, where it seems like the entire town has come out for the 88th meeting of the Battle of the Ravine. Phil Elson and R.J. Hawk here with you. We'll be joined by Hunter Lively in the third segment, but after this break on the Domino's pregame show, R.J. sat down to chat with the head Reddies, Scott Maxfield, who's come with 4 victories in a row over the Ouachita Tigers. We'll play that interview next as the Domino's pregame show returns on the Reddies Radio Network.
Do you have an idea that you would like to see on a t-shirt? Printmania can help you turn your idea into a reality. Printmania offers a variety of t-shirts from you to choose from. We also have personalized service, which will allow you to work with an artist who will help you create your t-shirt. Printmania also does embroidery and engraving. Check out our new location at 624 Main Street or call 246-3803. Printmania, proud supporters of Henderson State University.
Ready for another season of hard-hitting game day parties? Hunger is ready to strike without mercy. Whether you join the party at a tailgate or in your own living room, Subway Catering's lineup includes giant subs, sandwich platters, cookie platters, chips and drinks, everything you need to crush hunger and score a touchdown for football fans everywhere. So get in there. Subway, eat fresh. Catering orders must be placed 24 hours in advance. See participating store for details.
Arkadelphia Super Smiles offers general dentistry for kids and young adults. Dr. Trevor Coffey and his staff look forward in treating your child and making sure they always have a super smile. Arkadelphia Super Smiles is located at 280 Professional Park Drive, Suite B in Arkadelphia. For an appointment, call 870-246-2828. And like always, our kids is accepted at Arkadelphia Super Smiles.
Hi folks, Glenn Hill here with Century 21, and it's a great day for some football, and we've got a great football team to watch. We're lucky to have such a wonderful county with such awesome teams. Makes for a great place to live. Just ask anybody. We support our teams, and our Century 21 team wants to support you. The Century 21 was ranked number 1 in the top 4 categories of customer satisfaction by J.D. Powers. Hey, that's pretty nice. We want to be on your team. Call Century 21.
This is Kevin Rogers, and you're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Domino's pregame show. It's now time for the Coach's Corner with head coach Scott Maxfield. And, Coach, before we talk about the game that everybody wants to talk about, let's go back to last week when you guys were in El Dorado taking on Arkansas Tech. Things got a little bit close late in that game, but you got to be pleased with the way your team came back once the game got tied up and ended up winning the game.
Well, we did. We hung in there. We had some bad things happen to us. We didn't execute very well there in the third quarter and caught up with us. But, there were 2 key plays in the game. The last play of the first half, we had a chance 6 inches from the goal line to score. Didn't. And they snapped it over the punter's head early in the third quarter, and we didn't capitalize on that. So we get a touchdown there. We probably pretty much put the nail in the coffin. We let them hang around, and they came back and gave us a good game. But we were resilient enough to hang in there and come away with the victory.
Over the last couple of weeks, you guys have started a bit slow in that third quarter. Any idea why the slow start to start the second half?
Well, if I knew that, I would fix it. So, no, I don't really have an answer for that, but it's something we got to work on this week.
Okay, let's talk about today's game. It's the 88th meeting of the Battle of the Ravine. Well, since Phil and I have been a part of the broadcast, I mean, it's been in Henderson's favor. It's been a really a rivalry that has lived up to all the hype. What has it meant to you?
Well, it's just another game, really, to me. I mean, it's a big game because the conference championship's on the line this year. But, I approach it just like any other game, same preparation, try to keep the same schedule and do the same things that we do. I know it's important to the alumni and all the people in the community, but as a coaching staff, we just try to go on about our business and do what we can to make our team better.
You mentioned this one's for a conference title. It would be for a share of the conference title, but I think the bigger thing that a lot of Reddy fans are looking forward to is if you guys win, you're headed to the playoffs most likely, and that would also mean that Ouachita Baptist is staying at home.
Well, that's not in our hands either. I mean, I don't know how the criteria will shake out. They're number 2 in the region, so even with the loss, they still would have a pretty good chance to make the playoffs. But, all I can be concerned about is us, and if we win, then we'll have a great shot to represent our conference in the playoffs again.
When you look at this game, it's kind of like homecoming when you have to keep everybody focused at the task at hand. What do you have to do during a week like this to make sure guys stay focused and don't really, give in to all the hype of the Battle of the Ravine?
Well, I think we've got a pretty mature football team. I think they know what's at stake and what their preparation needs to be. So we've been focused throughout the week. I think there's a few things that go on that probably we don't know about, but overall we've had good preparation, good practices, and I think our focus has been pretty good.
Let's talk about Ouachita Baptist now. They've got a transfer quarterback from Auburn University in Kyle Frazier. He's a dual-threat guy. How does he change their offense? You know, you talk a lot about how guys can be dynamic and they can mean a lot to their team. He's one of those guys. What do you see from him when you see him on tape?
Well, he can extend plays. That's the biggest thing. He can hurt you with his legs. He's very athletic. He gets out of the pocket, and he's very dangerous and has made some big plays this year with his legs. So got to do a good job when we do cover him up and he has to run. We have to do a good job of staying in our pass lanes and be aware of our location on the field and come up and make some good tackles on him.
Defensively for them, they've been solid this year. They've had some tight games where they've had to rely on their defense. What do you have to do today to expose them defensively?
Well, we just have to do what we do. I think we got to be very balanced to begin with, and then go with what phase of the game they want to give us. And our bread and butter is the throwing game, so we've got to throw and catch well, and hopefully we can execute up front and give Kevin some time to operate.
Everybody kind of has talked about the weather forecast this weekend. I think it's going to be a little bit worse in northwestern Arkansas, but it's still going to be I think in the low 30s on game day. What are you doing to prepare for that? I know since Henderson doesn't have a indoor practice facility, you're still practicing outside, but I would imagine there's some mental obstacles that you have to get over.
Well, I think we'll handle that okay. I mean, both teams have got to play in it, so we practiced in it all week. I think it's going to be 45 to 44 at kickoff. So, I mean, that's football weather to me. So we just got to go out and not let that be a factor.
Is it important in this game to get your running game more consistent? I know you guys are running the ball for 150 as a team, but it just seems like it comes here and there. It's not really consistent. What do you have to do to get that thing more consistent as the game goes on?
Well, I don't think we're ever going to be a great running team this year. I think we've all realize that. We just we need to throw the ball and catch it, and then when the opportunity comes to run it, when they empty the box and give us a good numbers there to run the game and good matchups, that's when we have to run it. And just if we can get 150 yards rushing, I'll be happy. Let's
go ahead and talk about these seniors, because potentially this could be their last game. This has been an outstanding group of seniors you've had. Kevin Rogers, Darius Davis, and there's so many more that I'm not mentioning. Let's what has this senior class meant to this football team? Well, they've won a lot of football games. Number one, good senior class. A lot of these guys will be hard to replace in the future, but we've had a lot of success with them. They've done a lot of good things for our university, and we're just glad that we had them here at Henderson. Hope to send them out a winner today. And I guess the last question, injuries. How did you guys come out of that Arkansas Tech game? We're not bad. We got a couple guys a little banged up, but anytime you play 11 games in a row without open date, you're going to have some guys banged up at any level. So, that's just part of football. They got to suck it up, and if they can go, they can go. If not, the next man up's got to step up in there and get the job done. Coach, you've won 4 straight against Ouachita Baptist. Go try to make it a 5th today. Good luck today. Thank you. That's head coach Scott Maxfield joining us on the Domino's pregame show. When we come back, we'll bring Hunter Lively in the conversation and talk more about the 88th meeting of the Battle of the Ravine, coming up next on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Find your freedom with your new home with Jason Eddington of United Country Hometown Realtors. Nobody has more information available for your search to find that perfect home. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com. Take a virtual tour through all of the gorgeous properties. Check out the exclusive aerial views of the properties. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com and pick out your perfect home. Then call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Let Jason work with you to guide you through the maze of finding that home with the most modern and unique ways possible. Call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Life is good in Arkadelphia.
Hot Springs has a long history of birthday celebrations, but one of the most epic was on May 25th, 1944, when Shirley Temple's famous dance partner Bill Bojangles Robinson decided to celebrate his 66th birthday by tap dancing in the middle of Central Avenue, the length of Bathhouse Row. Why don't you make plans to dance through your birthday at one of the many fun clubs and restaurants in Hot Springs? Just stay out of the street, okay? Plan your visit today at hotsprings.org, because the Spa City is History City.
Wendy's presents Red in Best Food Forward. Hey, Red, can you help me make my online dating profile more mature?
Well, that's a Wendy's smoked Gouda chicken sandwich, right? Try a foodie with a refined palate.
Nice.
And what did you do yesterday?
I visited my mom.
Ooh, family-oriented.
And brought her my laundry.
Roy, you're 34.
And a half. Wendy's deliciously grown-up new smoked Gouda chicken layers smoky Gouda cheese, caramelized onion sauce, and Dijon aioli on a soft brioche bun.
Now that's better.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza, so mix it up with our chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, sandwiches, pastas, or medium two-topping pizzas for $5.99 each, and we'll mix stand-up comedy with a robot.
Stuffed cheesy bread and my act have a lot in common. They're both super cheesy. Tough crowd.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's 8-piece chicken, stuffed cheesy breads, oven-baked sandwiches, pastas in a dish, or medium two-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Handmade pan pizza may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
This is Coach Scott Maxfield, and you are listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
And we're back on the Domino's pregame show. Kickoff about 13 minutes away. Why not enjoy a fresh hot Domino's pizza while listening to the Reddies game? You can call Domino's at 870-246-3131 or go online at domino's.com. Phil Elson here along with RJ Hawk. We'll bring Hunter Lively on the broadcast in just a moment. Just had the show band of Arkansas run through the Spirit Fanfare, and they're now marching towards midfield for the playing of the national anthem today. RJ brought up during the interview with Coach Maxfield about the conditions we're playing in today. Wind will not be a factor. Winds are very calm at the moment, but as cloud cover has come over most of the state of Arkansas, and there are flurries in the forecast for parts of the state, what we're worried about here in Arkadelphia is cold. It is 40 degrees currently at Carpenter Haygood Stadium, and temperatures are actually going to be rising only up to 46. By the time this game is done, it might be about 42. So this is one of those games where you got to try to stay as warm as you can when you're on the bench, and you look to the receivers because it's a little difficult to get a grip on the ball when it's coming in, throwing as hard as Frazier and Rogers can't throw the ball. And you may have a few more drops than usual.
Yeah, you may. And the thing about it, Phil, is both these teams don't have indoor practice facilities, so all week long they've had to practice in these conditions and get used to those balls being thrown to them. And I don't really anticipate that being a huge problem today. I'm just thankful that we don't have any wet conditions going on, no precipitation going on. Just nice that it's just going to be a cold day. Now, for the guys on the field, it won't feel as bad, but for us in the press box, it feels like an ice box.
Yeah, this is a refrigerator right here.
So
and you're an ice cube.
Yeah, but hey, you know what though? Once this game gets going, all the blood and everything will be starting to circulate a little bit better.
Really is great football weather. Hey, let's turn our microphones down, the crowd mic up. The show band of Arkansas right now with the Star Spangled Banner. The Star Spangled Banner performed by the Show Band of Arkansas here at Henderson State University. Well, one of the things to focus on as far as this matchup is concerned has nothing to do with offense or defense. It's the special teams, and that's where Ouachita separates themselves from the rest of the teams in the Great American Conference. Their punt returner, Etaj Allen, is the top punt returner in Division II football, averaging nearly 21 yards per punt return, and he's also taken it to the house 3 times on punt returns. And as we bring Hunter Lively onto the broadcast, it seems, Hunter, that the Reddies have a little bit of a plan to try to keep the ball away from Allen should they be forced to punt.
Yeah, Henderson State definitely does not want what happened last year to happen to them again this year when Etaj Allen returned a punt return in in the first half back for a touchdown. And so this week we'll see Christian Latouf come back into the rotation, but we'll also see some punting from Houston Ray as well. When the ball is on the left hash, Houston Ray will do the punting, and when it's in the middle of the field or on the right hash, Christian Latouf will do the punting. And I was talking to Houston Ray before the game, and he said that they're going to try to do a little bit more of the rugby-style kicking and do directional straight-line kicking rather than up in the air to give Etage any type of chance to return the ball. So that'll be something to look forward to and see if the special teams can execute their plan today, guys.
Boy, is that not completely different?
Yeah.
You've heard of teams sharing the kickoff duties and the place kicking duties, but not the punting duties.
Even the quarterback you've seen switch out, but I've never seen two different punters in a game depending on the hash mark.
Hunter, also, if you look at these two teams, and at the top of the list is the wide receivers that lead the way: Darius Davis for the Reddies, Jalen Jones and Cavante Pope for Washita. But there are other guys to watch for, and Joseph Snap had a big battle of the Ravine last year with 2 first-half touchdowns.
Yeah, Joseph Snap really came into his own there and took over when Robert Jordan went out with the leg injury. Joseph Snap came in and did a great job. Really was one of the main factors in that OBU game last year. He's going to go up against one of his high school teammates today, guys, Drew White on the other side of the ball. He's also another one of those big-time receivers for Washita Baptist. And so I was talking with Joseph earlier this week. I said, "You're not going to let him get the best of you this week, are you?" He said, "No, I'm going to do the same thing I did last year. Hopefully, if Kevin will look my way, maybe we can maybe I can get a couple touchdowns under my belt." So him and Drew White are great friends, and it's been nothing but great rivalry back and forth between those two guys since they've come out of high school, guys.
That's great stuff down there, Hunter. We'll have Hunter Lively on the broadcast all throughout the game for our sideline reports. Well, the anticipation is building right now as the Reddies and the Tigers are just over 7 minutes away from the opening kickoff. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the Domino's pregame show after the break. This is Henderson State football on the Reddies Radio Network.
Do you have an idea that you would like to see on a t-shirt? Print Mania can help you turn your idea into a reality. Print Mania offers a variety of t-shirts from you to choose from. We also have personalized service, which will allow you to work with an artist who will help you create your t-shirt. Print Mania also does embroidery and engraving. Check out our new location at 624 Main Street or call 246-3803. Print Mania, proud supporters of Henderson State University.
Ready for another season of hard-hitting game day parties? Hunger is ready to strike without mercy. Whether you join the party at a tailgate or in your own living room, Subway Catering's lineup includes giant subs, sandwich platters, cookie platters, chips and drinks, everything you need to crush hunger and score a touchdown for football fans everywhere. So get in there. Subway, eat fresh. Catering orders must be placed 24 hours in advance. See participating store for details.
For Henderson State Ready apparel and souvenirs, stop by the Ready Bookstore located on the HSU campus and the Garrison Center. For your convenience, the Ready Bookstore is open before every Ready football game. And students, save money on textbooks at the Ready Bookstore, where you can purchase, rent, and sell back textbooks every day. The Ready Bookstore is open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 8 to 4 on Friday. We also have HSU apparel for kids, gift items, and alumni items. Find us on Facebook at Ready Bookstore or online at www.hsubooks.com.
SCM Architects have been serving Henderson State University for nearly 20 years. You'll recognize the firm's work on campus in the design of the new dining hall, the Charles Dunn Student Recreation Center, Sturgis Honors Hall, and East and West Residence Halls. This semester, SCM Architects have been privileged to work on the restoration of Proctor Hall and the recently completed interior renovation of Garrison Center's Grand Ballroom. Learn more about the firm's higher education, commercial, interior design, historic preservation, and master planning projects at scmarchitects.com. And on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. SCM Architects is a proud sponsor of Ready Athletics.
Hey, Ready fans, this is Dijon Benton, and you're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Arrival of the Henderson State Reddies out of the end zone to our right. Right now, the Washita Baptist Tigers are about to run on the field in front of their faithful on the sideline across the field. They're about 5 minutes until the opening kickoff of the Battle of the Ravine. And right now, we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Ready Sports Network. KYXK FM ESPN 106.9 in Gurdon, Arkadelphia, and AM 920, the sports animal KARN in Little Rock. Phil Elson, RJ Hawk, Hunter Lively here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium. We appreciate you tuning in for the last regular season broadcast of the 2014 Henderson State football season. Hopefully there'll be another broadcast next week. Chances are the Reddies get a win in the Battle of the Ravine. RJ, they go on the road for a Division II playoff matchup, but that's next week, and we're worried a little bit more about this week. Final thoughts about the start of this Battle of the Ravine.
Got to get protection for Kevin Rogers today. Allow him to throw the football. Got to hold on to the football. We saw against that in that Harding game, Phil. The big thing why the Reddies lost that game was because they did not hold on to the football. You got to win the turnover battle in this ball game. OBU's got a great defense. They're going to try to rip that thing out anytime they can. And if you're going to win a football game today, you got to hold on to the football. Expect a big day out of two players on that offensive side of football. We see it out every week out of Darius Davis, but also today, Joseph Snap. He made his mark in this game last year. Expect a big day out of him.
RJ mentioned the turnover battle. The Reddies have done fairly well on turnovers, plus 15 in the turnover margin. Washita, second best in the conference, plus 14 in the turnover margin. The Reddies have taken the field. We are 3 minutes away from the opening kick. We'll come back. We've got Henderson State football in the 88th matchup of the Battle of the Ravine. It is next on the Ready Radio Network.
Is your bank changing names again? Do you see account charges and lots of fees in your future? Well, if that's the case, then it's time to pick the bank that you really want, the bank that you deserve. That's Southern Bancorp. At Southern, we believe in providing products that are superior to the competition on the front end. Our loan rates are the best in the business and will treat you just like family. That's why we know you'll be a happy customer here for years to come. So don't sit back and let someone else pick the bank that's right for you. Pick the bank that has the name that you really want on your debit card. Pick Southern Bancorp. Come see us today.
Southern Bancorp, with locations in Hot Springs, Bismarck, Malvern, and where it all began, Arkadelphia. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Vince Lombardi and Paul Horning made history on the football field and deals on the golf course. In 1962, they met in the Spa City to negotiate the all-purpose backs contract during a round of golf. Lombardi said, "You didn't have that good of a year." Horning replied, "I won MVP of the league. Doesn't that count for anything?" Together, they won 3 league championships, a Super Bowl, and busts in the Football Hall of Fame. Plan your golf course deals today at hotsprings.org, because the Spa City is Sports City.
Wendy's presents Red in Best Food Forward. Hey, Red, can you help me make my online dating profile more mature?
Well, that's a Wendy's smoked Gouda chicken sandwich, right? Try a foodie with a refined palate.
Nice.
And what did you do yesterday?
I visited my mom.
Ooh, family-oriented.
And brought her my laundry.
Roy, you're 34.
And a half. Wendy's deliciously grown-up new smoked Gouda chicken layers smoky Gouda cheese, caramelized onion sauce, and Dijon aioli on a soft brioche bun.
Now that's better.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Arkadelphia Super Smiles offers general dentistry for kids and young adults. Dr. Trevor Coffey and his staff look forward in treating your child and making sure they always have a super smile. Arkadelphia Super Smiles is located at 280 Professional Park Drive, Suite B in Arkadelphia. For an appointment, call 870-246-2828. And like always, our kids is accepted at Arkadelphia Super Smiles.
Hey Reddies fans, this is Gary Vaughn. Thanks for listening to the Reddies on the Reddies Sports Network.
And the excitement at a crescendo moments before the opening kickoff. In the 2014 Battle of the Ravine, Phil Elson here along with RJ Hawk and Hunter Lively. It is a tremendous scene at Carpenter Haygood Stadium where overcast clouds came overhead a good 2.5 hours before the teams even arrived on the field. It was about an hour and a half ago that we saw the shortest road trip in college football. Washita took the trip across Highway 7, and the highway was backed up for about a mile both ways. And here we are. It is going to be the Tigers that won the opening kick. They will receive in the end zone to our right. That's the south end zone. The Reddies wearing the black pants, red helmets, red uniform tops, and the Tigers in the white uniforms and the purple helmets with a Tiger logo on one side and the number on the other.
From midfield here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium to midfield of Cliff Harris Stadium, it's 615 yards, Phil. 6 football fields between the two.
And the opening kickoff is short. It'll be caught on a fair catch at the 31-yard line by Kyle Lamoth. And so not even a return on the kickoff. The Reddies trying to make sure that that vaunted return game of Ouachita is neutralized. And that's one way to do it, by forcing the up man that doesn't return kicks very often to do that.
Phil, your offensive starters for Ouachita Baptist: Kyle Frazier at quarterback, with Stephen Keener and Brandon Marks at running back, and Drew White and Evan Hill at your wide receivers.
Kyle Frazier pitches to Keener to his left, and Keener takes it up over the 32 before he's gang tackled by about 6 red shirts. A gain of maybe a yard, if that. Will be second and about 9.5 for Ouachita.
When you look at the offensive line for Ouachita Baptist, you've got Mike Russell at left tackle, Brett Calhoun at right guard, Aaron Sprinkle at center, Michael Rogers at right guard, and right tackle has Javen Prunty. All these guys are from Arkansas and have played on state championship teams. Phil?
Stephen Keener second in the GAC in carries and in yards. Frazier on a rollout to his right, slips a bit, keeps his footing, and throws it towards the far sideline out of bounds. It was pressured by Trevon Del Rio after slipping. Frazier was lucky he didn't lose yardage. He nearly went down to one knee.
Yeah, was able to catch him with his backhand, and he was going to cut back to the near side and knew he couldn't do anything with the football, and just a smart throw right there by Kyle Frazier, the Auburn transfer, to throw it out of bounds.
3rd and 9.5 from the left hash mark for the Tigers. Ouachita converted on 47% of their third downs this year. That was second best in the GAC. Cavante Pope put in motion, lines up slot left. The snap back to Frazier, and the pocket holds as he fires a completed pass for the first down at the 46-yard line. A fabulous rolling catch made by Drew White for a pickup of 12.
Well, that time, Frazier had all kinds of time in the pocket. Really not much of a push by that defensive line for Henderson State, and he was able to easily find a wide receiver for the first down.
Takes him up to the 46, the first down of the game. After the 12-yard completion to White, sets them up right between the hash marks. Keener, the running back, with Frazier in the pistol. Puts his tight end in motion, gives to Keener right up the middle. Keener stopped after a short gain of 2 yards. Makes it up to the 48, and that'll bring up second down and 8 for the Tigers.
Well, one thing the Reddies have done a good job this year of not allowing big rushing yards from running backs. You know, if you look back at that Harding game, the rushing numbers were so big because that's all Harding did in that ball game. But the Reddies did a real good job of forcing third down and not allowing for them to pick up 5, 6, and 7 yards on first and second down.
Snap back to Frazier, throws it to the flats, is complete, and getting away from one tackler as Pope brings it over midfield and is stopped at the Henderson 47. And of about 5 yards on second down, and it's 3rd and 3 for Ouachita. Boy, Pope was nearly tackled in the backfield, but he stepped out of the first tackle and gets some positive yardage.
Well, that was Blake Lopez on that first attempt at the tackle, and you can't arm tackle. We've said this for 2 weeks now. The Reddies have got to wrap up. They can't go with the arm tackles and try to bring down some of these Tigers.
We have 4 wide formation for the Tigers, with Keener set off to the right of Frazier in the shotgun. Frazier takes the snap and drops back on a 3-man rush. Time to throw. He pumps. He looks deep. He fires it deep for the end zone. And that ball is incomplete, right off the fingertips of Jalen Jones. Jones was a step behind the coverage. If he caught that, that would have been a score.
Boy, how about that throw by Kyle Frazier? It just looked like he floated it up there just with a flick of the wrist and was able to throw it a good 50 yards downfield. You got to keep those receivers in front of you if you're the secondary for Henderson State, because Kyle Frazier's got a big arm, and you can't allow for him just to make throws like that.
Well, the Reddies stopped them short of the first down by 3. And here's a difference. It's Shelton Woolley, one of the top punters on the GAC, with a spiraling punt that is caught at the 6 by Darius Davis. Davis going to return it up over the 15 or the 20 on the far sideline before he's out of bounds. He was knocked out of bounds just shy of the 20, right at the 19. About a 14-yard return for Davis. And he returned that in traffic. It looked like, on the initial look, that would have been caught for a fair catch, but halfway decent field position for Henderson.
Yeah, not a bad job, and they're going to get better than what he would have gotten. Hey, your starters today for Henderson State. Quarterback Kevin Rogers comes out in his final regular season game for the Reddies. He's got Rodney Bryson behind him, and then Joseph Snap, Darius Davis, Mark Chouse, and Dustin Hollander, your starting wide receivers. We'll get the offensive line here in a minute.
Rogers out of the shotgun with a 4-receiver formation. Throws it to the left side, and it's caught by Corey Chappelle. He spins for the first down past the 30, spins again, and dives over the 35 to the 36, and a 17-yard pickup. Some fancy dance moves by Corey Chappelle.
Yeah, nice job by Chappelle. Your offensive linemen, Mark Gonzalez, John Guerra, Corey Steino, Lawrence Willis, and Justin Carpenter for the Reddies.
Boy, Henderson caught Washita off guard when they set up quickly. There's a late flag thrown just as Henderson was about to snap the ball back to Rogers. Washita had players going in and out from the far sideline. They were caught seriously, badly in a substitution. And we'll see what the call is here because the Reddies did not huddle. And you wonder if Washita would even be allowed to substitute.
Yeah, and it's hard to get players on and off the field when the Reddies are coming at you that fast. Let's get the official call from our official today.
Our head official is Dean Belcher.
Before the snap, false start, offense number 51. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
So the false start on left tackle Mark Gonzalez of Henderson. And that pushes the ball back to the 31-yard line and brings up first down and 15.
Got our mic situation fixed. We'll be able to hear the official from the rest of the ball game.
Henderson with the ball inside the right hash mark. 4 receivers, 3 stacked up in the left slot. And the running back, Bryson, put in motion wide left. The throw is batted down into the backfield by the weak side linebacker. And a nice play by Dave Fair. Fair out of Walcott, Arkansas, senior, 6'3", batted that down with his right hand, brings up 2nd and 15 for Henderson.
Well, you can tell Washita has watched tape because that time both defensive ends kind of flared out and got in the passing lane and just knocked that pass down.
On 2nd and 15, Rogers back to throw. Rogers throws to Davis, who is hit as he makes the catch, and he is dropped right at the 34. Short pickup, 3 yards, and it's 3rd and long for Henderson.
Yeah, they're going to say that's an incomplete pass now.
Incomplete pass. It's a late wave off by the officials, so it's incomplete, and that'll make it 3rd and 15.
I was about to say, Darius got away with one right there because he didn't hold on to that football as it was just sitting on the ground right beside him.
So Henderson State with their first try on 3rd down. They were 4th in the conference, converting 41% of their 3rd downs. Of course, this one a little tougher, needing 15 yards to keep the drive going in a scoreless first quarter. Snap to Rogers, tunnel screen to Davis. Makes the catch at the 31, not a lot there. Made it back to the initial line of scrimmage at the 36. And Henderson's drive will fizzle on their own side of the field.
Well, that's you can tell this is a better Washita defense than what the Reddies have seen the last few years, and they've come to play so far, especially on this first drive.
Christian Latouf has not punted for the last 4 weeks, at least not in regulation play. Christian averaging 41 yards a kick this year, and he had injured his left ankle, which had kept him out for nearly a month. The snap back, and Latouf with that rugby-style kick. The left foot comes through. It's a short end-over-end kick, bouncing at the 35. Takes a Henderson roll way inside the 20, and that's at the 15 when it is down by the coverage. How about that? About a 53-yard reversal of the field on the rugby-style punt. And already, RJ, the strategy to keep the ball away from Etaj Allen paying some dividends.
Yeah, right there. And you know, one thing that this is a different punting formation for Latouf. He's not used to the rugby style, and you kind of saw him stutter step there for a minute whenever he got the football, and he finally was able to get it away.
So a long field for the Tigers as they line up at the 15-yard line for their second drive. And this time Brandon Marks is the running back.
The Reddies going to call a timeout.
Henderson takes their first timeout at the 10:47 mark in this first quarter. We'll step aside as well. Henderson nothing, Washita nothing in the 88th Battle of the Ravine on the Henderson State Ready Radio Network.
Do you have facial hair or know someone who does? Then November is the month for you. All month, the National Movember movement uses the mustache as a talking point to start the conversation on men's health. Now, there's Mo Dairy. As a farmer, you likely pay closer attention to the health of your cows and crops than you do your own health. It's time to focus on you. Protect yourself by contacting your doctor for an annual physical, and grow a mustache to support the cause and spread the word. Learn more about Mo Dairy and what you can do to support the movement by liking Mo Dairy on Facebook. Grow, show, educate, and change the face of men's health. This public service announcement was sponsored by the Mo Dairy Coalition. Visit Mo Dairy on Facebook for a complete list of sponsors.
Ready fans, this is Joseph.
And back here at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium, Ouachita starts at their own 15. Pitch left to Brandon Marks, and he's dropped for a loss of a yard at the 14-yard line. Blake Lopez coming up from the linebacker to make the stop. And now Ouachita lines up 2nd and 11 from their own 14. No score. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark in the first half. Ouachita has put Stephen Keener in as a direct snap, and he waits for a blocker, gets past one man, dives over the 20 to the 22 before Lopez comes in for the tackle. And he was nearly hit in the backfield, but Keener gets away from the initial push, and a gain of 6 yards will bring up 3rd and about 4.
You know, Stephen Keener's 5'8", 195 pounds, and he was just able to get behind that big offensive line for Ouachita and find a running lane because he was bottled up in the backfield on that play.
Frazier back in a quarterback, empty set. Slot receiver comes into the backfield to block for Frazier. He takes the snap. Frazier looking over the middle, fires it over the middle, and it is way over his intended target. He had a man. He had Drew White open for the first down near the 35, but he airmails it. And on 4th down, Ouachita will punt from their own 21.
You got to love the pressure the Reddies are getting and making Kyle Frazier uncomfortable in the pocket. That time, he just did not look real comfortable at all. He had the happy feet kind of dancing around and threw that ball off balance.
Boy, a great opportunity for the Reddies who line up their return men. Davis and Snap at the 40. Waiting for the punt from Shelton Woolley. Woolley with a right-footed punt, high spiraling punt. Davis going to let it bounce at the 44 and get away from the football. Makes it inside the 40 before it's down by the coverage. Call that at the 39-yard line. 40-yard punt, no return. Henderson State getting their second drive with no score and 9:13 to play in the first quarter. So far, RJ, these teams have just been feeling each other out.
Yeah, you're right, and doing a nice job of the defenses stepping up in the ball game. You know, the last couple of weeks, the Reddies' offense on the first drive kind of sputtered a little bit, but it's always the second drive they get in rhythm.
Henderson has scored more points in the first quarter than any quarter this year. 148 of their 446 points have come in the first quarter. Rogers fakes the give. He's got a wide open Dustin Holland for the first down, and Holland breaks free past the 35-30, spinning towards the 20 before Ouachita catches up with him, and they say forward progress is stopped at the 21. A 39-yard play to Dustin Holland, the senior from Bryant, in his last battle of the Ravine, comes up with a big play.
Well, his former high school coach Paul Cowley is here in attendance today watching this game, and that time, that was just a quick out route. He was in the slot and was able to pick up 39 yards. There was nobody on top of him to cover him.
Twin wides to the right. Davis in the slot. It's a handoff. Rondi Bryson steps past one tackle. Dives for the 15. He is at the 16-yard line when he's marked down. A gain of about 5 yards. And the Reddies are in the State Farm Red Zone, sponsored by local State Farm agent David Boston Insurance. Call 870-246-5111 for David Boston Insurance. Gain of 5 yards there. It is 2nd and 5 from the 16. Rogers brings the wide receivers tighter, rolls to his right. Rogers throws for the end zone, and there's contact as the receiver hits the deck and the flags come out. Darius Davis was tripped up by the coverage in the end zone, and Henderson State is going to move a little closer to the goal line.
Yeah, that's a great call by the side judge because Darius was coming across the formation, and it was contact, but it wasn't your normal type of contact because the corner came and just threw a shoulder into Darius.
Pass interference, defense number 30. It's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Yeah. Senior defensive back Zach Mitchell from Valonia called for the penalty.
And he just threw a shoulder into him and knocked him off his route, and I fully anticipate that if he doesn't get knocked off his route, he probably catches that for a touchdown.
So the officials figuring out where to place the football, put it right at the 2-yard line. See what Henderson tries to do here. Go with a two wides. Davis to the right, snap to the left, tighter to the formation. Ryan McDonald in at running back with a blocking tight end to his right. That's Josh Miller. Out of the shotgun with the ball on the left hash. Davis put in motion. Lines up behind Rogers. The give to McDonald. McDonald into the end zone. Touchdown, Reddies. A 2-yard running play right up the gut. And at the 8:08 mark in the first quarter, in the 88th Battle of the Ravine, the Henderson State Reddies strike first.
What a great job that time. You know, last week against Southern Arkansas, Reddies had a hard time punching it in from 1 yard out. Ryan McDonald that time was just able to bulldoze his way in and get the touchdown.
Ryan McDonald with his 5th running touchdown of the season, the 12th of his career. The point after by Houston Ray will make it 7-0. 8:08 to play first quarter. Reddies take a 7-0 lead over Ouachita. This is Henderson State football on the Reddies Radio Network.
Hi, folks. Glenn Hill here with Century 21, and it's a great day for some football, and we've got a great football team to watch. We're lucky to have such a wonderful county with such awesome teams. Makes for a great place to live. Just ask anybody. We support our teams, and our Century 21 team wants to support you. The Century 21 was ranked number 1 in the top 4 categories of customer satisfaction by J.D. Powers. Hey, that's pretty nice. We want to be on your team. Call Century 21.
Find your freedom with your new home with Jason Eddington of United Country Hometown Realtors. Nobody has more information available for your search to find that perfect home. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com. Take a virtual tour through all of the gorgeous properties. Check out the exclusive aerial views of the properties. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com and pick out your perfect home. Then call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Let Jason work with you to guide you through the maze of finding that home with the most modern and unique ways possible. Call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Life is good in Arkadelphia.
This is Kendrick Burns. Welcome back to Henderson State Football on the Reddies Sports Network.
Welcome back to Carpenter Haygood Stadium. 7-0 Reddies lead Ouachita Baptist in the 88th meeting of the Battle of the Ravine. And, hey, you know what? The Reddies are now social. Follow the Reddies online at facebook.com/Henderson State Athletics. You can also follow Phil and I in the booth. I'm at RJ Hawk, and then Phil's at Elson Phil for all the latest updates going on with Ready Athletics.
Cavante Pope and Etaj Allen back near the Ouachita 9-yard line to our right, about to receive the kickoff from Houston Ray with a 7-0 Ready lead. A line drive kick by Ray, caught by Pope at the 5, stumbled a bit, makes his way up the right hash, and he steps past him out of the 25, up over the 30, brought down to the 35-yard line. 30-yard return by Cavante Pope, and Ouachita with their 3rd drive trailing 7-0. About that drive by the Reddies, RJ, this is the way they do it. 1 minute, 5 seconds, 3 plays, 61 yards. The big play was the 40-yard pass to Dustin Holland, and an interference in the end zone on the defensive backs also helped Henderson get the ball to the goal line, where it's finished by Ryan McDonald.
No, it was a great drive. It was one that the Reddies, like you said, they moved the ball quickly.
Keener takes another direct snap, follows blockers to his left. The Reddies are going to stop him right there at the 36. Gain of 2 yards. That's a play that's designed to get a first down. When you get a direct snap to the running back, you want more than 2, more than 5. There's not a lot there for Ouachita on the second direct snap to Stephen Keener.
Well, one thing the Reddies are going to have to do to win this game is you're going to have to limit the amount of yards that Keener picks up. He's a big part of this offense, and if you put the entire game on the shoulders of Kyle Frazier, that really ups your percentage of trying to win this game.
Keener lines up to the right of Frazier in the shotgun. He puts the tight end in motion and fakes the handoff. Frazier with a QB keeper, slipping at the 35, stays on his feet, makes it up over the 40 to the 42, gain of 7 yards. And again, he slipped. That's twice that Frazier's nearly lost his footing, but gets some positive yardage.
Earlier you and I were out doing a promo video for this ball game, and if you got out there and walked around the turf, it did kind of seem a little slipperish. I'm not saying that it was like ice or anything, but it just didn't have that same feel of the normal turf as Keener's back in the Wildcat.
3 wide receivers with Keener lining up. 3rd down and 3 from the Ouachita 42. Keener fumbles the snap, picks it back up off the turf, and runs for the first down over the 50, still on his feet over the Henderson 40, and he's brought down at the 38-yard line. Boy, and that's a lucky break for the Ouachita Tigers. We saw the same thing happen to Kevin Rogers last week, where he fumbled the snap and picked it back up off the bounce, kind of like an Australian rules football play.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. He is a guy that's very not dynamic. For only being 5'8", 195 pounds, he's got a lot of speed. And, one of those kids that Just he knows how to run this offense. He came from Glen Rose, Arkansas.
20-yard rush by Keener. Now Frazier fires over the middle. He's got a man. The catch is made to the 15 and brought inside the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown is Jalen Jones. Jones scores the touchdown, 37 yards out, and a fabulous throw by Frazier over the middle. A chance for the Tigers now to tie the game on the ensuing point after. I tell you what, I think Frazier might have found a soft spot in the middle of the Henderson defense, RJ. That's twice that Henderson has left a receiver wide open deep down the middle of the field. Washita lines up the swinging gate. Now they set up a normal point after attempt for Shelton Woolley, who's handling the kicking duties, with the usual kicker Matt Ehas injured. The snap back, the hold good, the kick is up, and it is good. Tie game. 6:16 to play first quarter here at Carpenter Haygood. Henderson 7, Washita 7. This is Henderson State football on the Reddies Radio Network.
Do you have facial hair or know someone who does? Then November is the month for you. All month, the National Movember movement uses the mustache as a talking point to start the conversation on men's health. Now, there's Mo Dairy. As a farmer, you likely pay closer attention to the health of your cows and crops than you do your own health. Learn more about Mo Dairy and what you can do to support the movement by liking Mo Dairy on Facebook. Change the face of men's health today. This public service announcement was sponsored by the Mo Dairy Coalition. Visit Mo Dairy on Facebook for a complete list of sponsors.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We believe strongly in supporting the children of America. Our youth programs include American Legion Baseball, Junior Shooting Sports, Boys and Girls State, the Oratorical Scholarship Program, support for scouting, and many others. We support and promote citizenship and integrity in America's future leaders. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
This is Mark Chouse. You're listening to Henderson Football on the Ready Sports Network.
Well, Henderson and Washita trade touchdowns in the last 3 minutes. Henderson went on a 3-play scoring drive. Washita then goes on a 4-play scoring drive. They went 65 yards in a minute 52, capped by a 38-yard pass from Kyle Frazier to Jalen Jones. A 7-7 tie in the Battle of the Ravine. And the Reddies about to receive the kickoff to the left. Javante Mack and Corey Chappelle are the return men at the 5-yard line. Well, judging by the last 2 drives, RJ, we may see a lot of points today. Yeah. But it's early, of course. It's a short kickoff. And coming up is Mack at the 15 to receive. He runs to his right, and he tries to step past a man, reverses field back up the middle at the 20, and dives to the 25. A 15-yard return by Mack, and Henderson State will have the ball with a 7-7 tie. Let's go down to the field. The third member of our broadcast is Hunter Lively on the sideline. Hunter.
Yeah, guys, if there's any soft spot in this OBU defense, it's at the safety position, and so we'll probably see Kevin Rogers try to exploit that here. Cy Blackshire for SAU's quarterback, he was able to exploit it, and so we'll see if Kevin can try to continue to find Darius Davis, Dustin Hall, and guys like that over the middle of the seam.
Washita 9th in the GAC, which would be second worst in yards allowed passing, 231 yards passing allowed per game. Kevin Rogers brings Joseph Snap tight to the formation, lines up in the slot, fakes the give, he looks deep, he fires it deep, he's got Davis making the catch to the 35, and he's tackled around the 30. He had to change direction to handle the throw by Rogers. It brought him to the middle of the field, didn't quite hit him in stride, but a huge play by the Reddies to flip the field just like that.
Boy, Darius was wide open in the middle of the field, and Hunter just got done talking about those safeties for Washita Baptist and how they could be exposed, and just like that, you saw Davis get right past him, and he was wide open.
47 yards, and now a handoff to Jaquan Cole. Cole hit after an initial push, spins past a man, and ends up with a gain of 5. Good hard running there by Jaquan Cole, who's playing in his second Battle of the Ravine. Got 2 rushes last year across the street. Cole will remain in on second down and about 5.5. 7-7 tie, 5:25 left in the first quarter. Again, a very tight formation for the Reddies with 4 receivers, each lined up in the slot. Chappelle put in motion. It's a flip to Chappelle running left. Chappelle to the 20, angling out of bounds near the first down. This will be close.
I think he's going to be a little bit shy of the first down, Phil.
Going to use that speed by Chappelle, who scored the last touchdown in last week's victory in El Dorado, and he was short of the first down by about a half yard. So Henderson State will go big here on 3rd and short. They'll have 2 receivers. Davis wide to the right, Snap to the left. A blocking back in for Jaquan Cole, who lines up behind Rodgers in the pistol. The snap, the give. Cole stops for a moment. He puts his head down, has the first down before he's hit hard at the 15. Call him down to the 16-yard line. He did have the first down and a gain of 4 yards.
That was, boy, he took a lick right there at the end of that play. He got met by the middle linebacker for Ouachita Baptist, and he just stood him straight up. That was Mike Williamson who just took him straight to the ground. They went head-to-head, and I don't think Jaquan Cole was the winner of that hit.
Trips right with Davis wide. Single receiver left is snap. Cole, the running back. He's off to the right shoulder of Rodgers. Shotgun on 1st and 10. 7-7 tie. Reddies looking for a go-ahead score. Rodgers calling out a new play. Play clock down to 3. Gets the play off in time. Rodgers fires for the end zone to his right, and Javonte Mack hauls it into the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Reddies! Wow, what a catch by Javonte Mack in the back of the end zone. Javonte Mack with his 3rd touchdown of the season, and the Reddies take the lead for the 2nd time.
I didn't mean to step on that call, Phil, but wow, I think we were all shocked he made the catch. And that was a heck of a job, and the Reddies retake the lead.
Absolutely spectacular play by Javonte Mack. And we've seen, RJ, receivers come up big in the Battle of the Ravine now in years where they really weren't factors. We saw it last year with Joseph Stapp. The point after by Houston Ray makes it 14-7. 4:19 to play in the first quarter. This game's already as good as advertised. Reddies 14, Tigers 7 on the Reddies Radio Network.
Find your freedom with your new home with Jason Eddington of United Country Hometown Realtors. Nobody has more information available for your search to find that perfect home. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com. Take a virtual tour through all of the gorgeous properties. Check out the exclusive aerial views of the properties. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com and pick out your perfect home. Then call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Let Jason work with you to guide you through the maze of finding that home with the most modern and unique ways possible. Call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Life is good in Arkadelphia.
Java Primo is amazing coffee and so much more. Visit Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more and discover just what more is. Friday and Saturday nights are ribeye nights. 16 plus ounces of premium bone-in French-cut ribeye steak seasoned with espresso rub and grilled to perfection. Nightly dinner menus of pizza, salmon, tuna, steaks, and more begins at 4 p.m. Located on Main Street in Arkadelphia and on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Java Primo has a little something more just for you. Hi, this is Athletic Director Sean Jones, and you're listening to Henderson State Football on the Reddies Sports Network.
Consecutive scoring drives for the Henderson State Reddies give them a 14-7 lead. There's about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first quarter, which has already seen Kevin Rodgers throw for 131 yards. Houston made with a short kickoff. It'll be returned from the 20, and it is dry. It is a short return for Etaj Allen, knocked down to the 26-yard line, and the Reddies getting some great coverage from Jonathan Edward, the freshman out of Orlando, who's there along with a couple other Reddies. Jaquan Cole also there in the coverage.
You know, I was talking earlier about you can follow us on Twitter at RJ Hawk and Elson Phil, and we'll provide commentary through that as well. And it's now being started. He made the catch as a hashtag. I totally didn't mean to jump on your call like that, but that was an impressive play by Javonte Mack just a minute ago.
Kyle Frazier fakes the handoff. QB keeper rolling to his left. He's over the 30 when he's brought down by Josh Davis at the 31. Gain of 3 yards on the QB keeper. That's one area where the Reddies are beaten a little bit. You're not going to get a lot of rushing yardage from Kevin Rodgers. If you're the Reddies, you don't want that. Maybe a few yards here and there, but for Ouachita, the quarterback running the football, whether it's a direct snap to Stephen Keener or Frazier running it himself, that's a big part of their offense.
Yeah, you know, the Reddies have a good game plan of trying to shut down Kyle Frazier. It's just the secondary needs to step up and defend the pass a little bit better.
Sophomore Brandon Marks from Prescott lines up at running back, and he gets the carry right up the middle. He moves the pile to the 34-yard line and is dropped there for a 2-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd and about 5 for the Tigers, trailing Henderson 14-7. And so far, Washington 2 for 4 converting third downs. A couple of changes in their personnel. Bring Ty Towers, junior from Star City, to line up the wide receiver to his left. Towers played a little quarterback a couple years ago. 3 wide, single back. Frazier on 3rd and 4. Takes the snap from inside his own 30. And he drops back on a four-man rush. He pumps. He pulls it down. He is hit. He lost the football, and they're diving for the ball. The Reddies say they have it. It's still loose and picked up by Henderson at the 14-yard line. And the Henderson State Reddies force the first turnover of the day. And the former Washita Tiger, Dijon Benton, came away with the fumble recovery.
How about that, Phil? You saw Frazier jumping around. He couldn't get comfortable. He finally went to his left, and Dijon Benton was right there to lay the hit. He also got the fumble. Reddies have great field position now as they lead this ball game 14-7, 2:43 left in the first quarter.
A couple of scores here for the Henderson Reddies. They're at the 14 already inside the State Farm red zone. Rogers goes with an empty formation, 5 wides. Twins to his right. Ball's on the right hash. That's the short side of the field. The snap to Rogers. Looks to his right. Throws a short pass. Davis with a catch of the 15. Bumping off a tackler and dives to the 10. They'll mark him at the 10-yard line, and for Darius Davis, a 5-yard gain. Already Davis with about 60 yards of receiving in this first quarter. Clock winding to 2:26. Reddies bring Rodney Bryson in. And Mark Chouse, the slot receiver, also replacing Corey Chappelle in this personnel package. Bryson to the left of Rogers in a 4-receiver set. 2nd and 6 from the 10. The snap. The give to Bryson. Bryson stops, rolling to his right. Hit at the 10. He keeps his feet, but there's just not a lot there. Gain of nothing on second down. It's 3rd and 5 for Henderson. 3rd and 6 for Henderson from the 10.
Boy, the Reddies just have not been able to get much going in the rushing game as they've only run the ball for 12 yards in this game. And, we know the Ready running game is not the bread and butter of this team, but you got to find a way to offset the passing and just kind of throw that defense off a little bit.
Split backs, Bryson to the right, Davis to the left. Davis in motion to the right now. He's in the slot. The snap to Rogers, rolls right. Rogers fires for the 5. Davis with a catch, and he has the first down. He's out of bounds at the 2. 1st and goal for Henderson, and a fabulous play by Rogers and Davis. These guys are known for throwing deep, 60-yard bombs, but they're just as good in the short game.
No, you're right, and it's just that rollout play that they have where
incomplete is what the officials are telling us now.
Well, the officials just now got together down at the pylon at the goal line and determined that it was an incomplete pass, and not quite sure how you came up with that because he totally went to the ground with the football. He was wide open on his own. But
well, in full disclosure, we were unable to see the ball pop out there in full traffic, so a field goal attempt for Houston Ray. And this one will be a 27-yard field goal from the right hash. Corey Steidle, the deep snapper, to Mark Chouse, the holder. Snap good, hold good, kick up, kick good. So the Reddies do take a 2-score lead. A minute 27 left in the first quarter. Henderson leading 17-7 over Washita in the 88th Battle of the Ravine on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Hi, folks. Glenn Hill here with Century 21, and it's a great day for some football, and we've got a great football team to watch. We're lucky to have such a wonderful county with such awesome teams. Makes for a great place to live. Just ask anybody. We support our teams, and our Century 21 team wants to support you. The Century 21 was ranked number 1 in the top 4 categories of customer satisfaction by J.D. Powers. Hey, that's pretty nice. We want to be on your team. Call Century 21.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza, so mix it up with our chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, sandwiches, pastas, or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each, and we'll mix stand-up comedy with a robot.
Stuffed cheesy bread and my act have a lot in common. They're both super cheesy. Tough.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's 8-piece chicken, stuffed cheesy breads, oven-baked sandwiches, pastas in a dish, or medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Handmade pan pizza may be extra. You must ask for this limited-time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
This is Blake Lopez, and you're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Henderson with a 4-yard, 4-play scoring drive thanks to the fumble by Kyle Frazier. A field goal by Houston Ray makes it 17-7 Henderson. A minute 27 left in this first quarter, and Washita about to get the football back on the kickoff from Houston Ray. From left to right, a high end-over-end kick, and Etaj Allen brings it up from the 11-yard line, juking and jiving up the left hash mark to the 25. Drop to the 26. About a 15-yard return for Etaj Allen. Hey, let's head to Hunter Lively on the sideline. Hunter, did you see the the drop by Darius Davis. We could not see Davis drop the ball from up here. What did you see down on the field?
Yeah, guys, initially it looked like he had made the catch, but I do think the referee made the right call. As he was bumbling it when it went out of bounds, and the Washita safety did a great job getting in there and poking it out, and the ball fell incomplete as he was falling out of bounds.
New terminology by Hunter Lively, bumbling it.
That'd be like the butt fumble from the Jets?
Yes.
Kyle Frazier gives to Keener. Keener stops after the give to let the tacklers run past him, and he runs forward up over the 30 to the 31, gain of about 4 yards to Keener. That's a nice play by Keener, letting the tacklers just run right past him. A little bit of a hesitation gives him the extra yardage. So far, Keener, though, has been, well, I was about to say quiet. It's only because he's only touched the ball 6 times. 37 yards, though, for Keener, a long of 20, averaging about 6 yards per carry. Heavy on the right side for the Tigers. Frazier rolls right, stops at the right hash, looks for someone to throw to, pressured by Lawson Schultz, and he throws it towards the right sideline. It is incomplete. The receiver arrived at the last moment before it hit off his hands right out of bounds. It is 3rd and 5 for Washita from the Tiger 31.
Boy, the Ready defense did a good job that time disguising their coverage, because that time they allowed for that was Kendrick Burns, the safety, to come up and cover the slot guy, which allowed for one of the linebackers to move back to the safety spot, and it threw Kyle Frazier off because he wasn't quite sure who was being covered up, and they did a good job covering up the wide receivers in man coverage.
Ball on the left hash, 4 receivers. Slot receiver in motion to the right. That's Pope in the right slot now. Reddies bring an extra blitzer. The pass thrown to Keener. Keener makes the catch and is hit very hard after converting the 3rd down. Cam Devereaux came in low and hit him right around the thighs. Keener, though, pops right back up. He's okay. Gain of 7. First down, Washita.
Well, it was a legal hit. I mean, he came down right at the waist and just took his legs out from underneath him. And I think it looked worse than it really was.
Ball placed at the 38 after the 6-yard screen pass to Keener. Washita with a 3-receiver set. They bring the left wide receiver right up to the line of scrimmage. The snap to Frazier. Fakes the handoff. QB keeper up the middle. Knocked down at the 40. Gave him, well, he lunged at the last moment. Got the 41. Gain of 3 yards on another QB keeper. Frazier now. You remember, he was sacked earlier, so he's negative yardage rushing. And that running play by Frazier takes us into the last moments of the first quarter. First 15 minutes have been pretty exciting. And Henderson, on the strength of 3 scores, leading by 10. We'll go to the second quarter after the break. It's Henderson 17, Washita 7 in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. This is Henderson State Football on the Reddies Radio Network.
SCM Architects have been serving Henderson State University for nearly 20 years. You'll recognize the firm's work on campus in the design of the new dining hall, the Charles Dunn Student Recreation Center, Sturgis Honors Hall, and East and West Residence Halls. This semester, SCM Architects have been privileged to work on the restoration of Proctor Hall and the recently completed interior renovation of Garrison Center's Grand Ballroom. Learn more about the firm's higher education, commercial, interior design, historic preservation, and master planning projects at scmarchitects.com. And on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. SCM Architects is a proud sponsor of Ready Athletics.
Arkadelphia Super Smiles offers general dentistry for kids and young adults. Dr. Trevor Coffey and his staff look forward in treating your child and making sure they always have a super smile. Arkadelphia Super Smiles is located at 280 Professional Park Drive, Suite B in Arkadelphia. For an appointment, call 870-246-2828. And like always, our kids is accepted at Arkadelphia Super Smiles.
Hey Reddy fans, this is Cameron Devereaux, and you are listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Start of the second quarter with Washita Baptist controlling the football at their own 41-yard line. Henderson leading 17-7. The Reddies outgained the Tigers 147-93 in the first quarter. 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. Kyle Frazier gives fakes the handoff, rolls to his left. A flag thrown from the backside official as Frazier makes it up to the 44-yard line, and a gain of 3 yards pending the penalty. But it is holding on the Tigers, and so it's going backwards. Penalties have hurt the Tigers this year. They've committed the 2nd most penalties in the Great American Conference. Penalties have not been a big part of this game. That's just their 2nd. Although their first penalty was a 15-yard pass interference play that brought the Reddies 2 yards short of the goal line.
Offense, number 71. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's still second down.
That's the left tackle, Michael Russell, junior from Charleston, Arkansas, flagged for holding. And that'll push the football all the way back to the 31. Brings up second down and 17 for Ouachita. Boy, when you have, and obviously this, you would expect to see a lot of passes here for Ouachita. This is where Henderson's pass rush comes up very big. They were best in the GAC, sacking the quarterback. Snap to Frazier. Dijon Benton got a rush at him. Floats it out to Keener. Catches in the flats. He's up over the 30, 35, 40 to the right sideline. He is out of bounds short of the first down at the 45. A gain of 14 yards. And they'll have a chance here on third down and about 3.5.
Yeah, that was a nice play. There was nobody covering Keener in the flats that time, and Frazier just dumped it off to him as he was under pressure. Dijon Benton was coming in after him, and he flips it out to Keener, and Keener picks up a big gainer that time.
Twins to the left. Single receiver to the right side is Drew White. White comes up to the line of scrimmage. Tying in motion to the right. The fake handoff, and Frazier's going to run for it. Frazier hit right near the first down marker. He was brought down by Josh Davis, and this one is going to be close.
Yeah, that's
looks like he's short by less than a yard, if that.
And you would have to see. I was going to say it's short, and it's decision time for Todd Knight because you're right. You're not even at midfield yet, and if you don't get it, then you give the Reddies great field position. It looks like they're going to bring the punting unit on, but Phil, I wouldn't be surprised if right here, if OBU tries to go for a fake field goal or a fake punt.
Remember, the special teams is one thing that separates Ouachita from just about everybody else in the GAC. Woolley comes back out, takes the snap, and he punts it. A spiraling punt. Fair catch called at the 19-yard line by Darius Davis. And that's where the Reddies will start the drive. 31-yard punt, no return. Henderson with the football, leading by 10.
Phil, this is a home game, so not too many people are down at Slim and Shorty's today, but want to say thank you for their sponsorship. They have been this year's road game watch party location in downtown Arkadelphia at Slim and Shorty's. And if you want to catch all the Reddy action throughout this year and even basketball season, they're showing all the road games at Slim and Shorty's downtown Arkadelphia. They are your official road game watch party location.
Well, this could be across the street. It would still feel like a home game for Henderson.
I know it, right?
There is to me, it doesn't feel like there's any advantage whether you're playing at this stadium or the other. Rogers with the snap, throws it to the flat. Swing pass caught by Rodney Bryson. He's up over the 20 to the 21. And a 2-yard gain.
No stop for the Tigers, number 56, Dave Fair.
We did have a flag down apparently, and the referee's talking about it right now. Head official today, Dean Belcher, about to explain the call. Looks like this one is on the Reddies. Henderson's offense already moved back.
Offense, number 79. Half the distance to the goal. It's still first down.
Right tackle Justin Carpenter flagged. Our head official sounds a little bit winded already, huh?
I think he's cold. I just looked at the weather forecast, and right now in Arkadelphia, it's 41 degrees here. And I still say it's a lot better than what it's going to be at Northwest Arkansas tonight. They're talking about temperatures as low as 21 degrees in Fayetteville, and I'm just glad we're not up that way.
Henderson from the 8, running play. Up the middle goes Ryan McDonald up over the 10 to the 12. 4 yards on the carry by Ryan McDonald.
McDonald on the carry for the Reddies.
Second and very long, second and about 17 here for the Reddies, leading 17-7. 13 minutes to play in the second quarter. This series was tied all time going into the 2011 Battle of the Ravine. Now Henderson leads the all-time series 42-39 with 6 ties. Corey Chappelle in motion, lines up wide to the right of Darius Davis. Rogers takes the snap, second and 17. Drops back, throws deep over the middle, and the play is incomplete. He was looking for James Jackson. Jackson has scored a long touchdown last week in El Dorado, and he had coverage step for step with him up the right hash. And that'll bring up third down and 17.
Boy, if Kevin could have gotten that ball over just a touch to where James could have gotten to it, he would have been off to the races. He had the safety beat that time, and he just needed to catch up with the football.
Reddies are 1 for 3 converting third downs today. McDonald in to block for Rogers. 4 wides. The snap and a handoff to McDonald up the middle to the 20. McDonald hit shy of the 25. He'll make it to the 25 and drop there. He needed about another 5 yards for the first down, so the punt play comes out.
They got about 10 yards on that play, and they're going to bring on the punting unit. And what you like out of the Reddies right now, Phil, is that they're not getting in a big hurry to force the football. Kevin's making great reads right now. They're using the running game. The offensive line's blocking well. If you don't have that holding penalty, you're not backed up as far, and that's what's forced the punting situation.
And Latouf with the rugby-style punt with the left foot. Bounces at the 45. Looked like it hit one of the Ready coverage men on his left foot at the 45-yard line. An official threw his marker at that very spot, and he's going to call the ball down at the 46.
Well, I tell you, Christian Latouf just does not look good punting the football. Let's go down to Hunter Lively on the sideline. Hunter, it just seems like Christian Latouf's taking way too long to kick the football.
Well, going back to before the game, they had mentioned that they were going to try this rugby style, and that one almost got blocked. He's lucky it didn't.
29 yards on the punt and no return. Well, they kept it out of the hands of Allen again, but Washita with a short field at the 46. Henderson leading by 10, 17-7. We're inside 12 minutes on the clock. Stopped at 11:55. Be a direct snap to Keener here. Wide receiver put in motion. That's Jalen Jones lining up wide to the right. The snap and a give to Brandon Marks. Marks up over the 45, dropped to the 47, and a 2-yard gain on the handoff to Keener. So instead of Keener running at that time, he gave it to the secondary running back. Brandon Marks averages about 4.5 yards a carry. Keener averaging 5 yards a carry this year.
And every time they go in that Wildcat package, Kyle Frazier splits out wide to the left side as a wide receiver, and they're going to go back to it right here, Phil.
Frazier wide left. He's guarded by Cam Devereaux, the senior. Second down and 8. And again, that's Jones put in motion. That's White put in motion, lines up wide right. Snap to Keener, rolls to his right. He's going to throw it. He throws deep. He looks for White. That's a lollipop in the air, and it is dropped by Christian Love. Christian Love had a chance to intercept a little blow-pop lollipop that would have made some rain if there was rain in the forecast today. Keener got barely anything on that pass. Third down and 8 for Washita.
Down in Stuttgart, they call those ducks.
Right.
And that's exactly what it was. That thing was up there just floating around, and I don't think Love really knew where it was until it hit him in the chest. And
kind of like a duck falling out of the sky.
Yeah, they got lucky right there.
Frazier puts Cavante Pope in motion. Slot right, snap to Frazier on 3rd and 8. Looks to his left. He throws for the sideline, and the pass is caught for the first down. And there was a lot of pushing and shoving on that left sideline. Drew White comes away with a catch, beating Cam Devereaux for what turns out to be a very big first down to the 25, a gain of 28 yards on 3rd down and long.
If Cameron didn't have, if he wasn't pushing right there, he probably could have gotten the offensive pass interference because White gave him a nice shove to get that, to make space to catch that ball, but there was enough hand-to-hand combat going on down there that you can't throw that flag.
Tied in motion to the right, handoff to Marks. Marks jumped to the right side. He breaks free over the 15, and he's tripped up at the 12 after gaining the first down. Gain of 11 yards to the 14-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Marks was very close to breaking free for a touchdown.
Yeah, this is one thing the Reddies have done really well today is stop the running game. And that time right there, though, Marks was able to get free, and he just needed to get past that middle linebacker for the Reddies and Blake Lopez, and he would have been off to the races.
Marks to the right of Frazier in the shotgun. First down and 10. Frazier fakes the give, loses a couple of tacklers, runs up the middle inside the 5 when he's hit, and he's at the 3 when he's brought down. Another first down and a gain of 11 yards to Frazier. And now Washita is close to scoring their second touchdown. A lot of fancy running plays here by the Washita Tigers. And they're disguising their runs nicely. Never quite know who they're going to give it to. It's not quite the triple option of Harding, but it is awfully tough. Keener lines up behind a couple of extra backs. I formation behind Kyle Frazier, who shifts it. And now Frazier lines up behind Keener, who takes the direct snap, runs right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone for the Ouachita touchdown. And they disguised that play beautifully. Another direct snap, but it was after a shift with the quarterback lining up behind Keener. Keener up the gut for the 2-yard score.
Well, that looked way too easy. He just was able to take it straight up the gut and was able to walk into the end zone.
Makes it a 4-point game. And here comes Shelton Woolley to attempt the point after. The snap back, the hold good. Kick is up and good by Woolley. And it's a 3-point game. 9:34 to play in the second quarter here at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium. Henderson leading Ouachita 17-14 on the Henderson State Ready Radio Network.
Ready for another season of hard-hitting game day parties? Hunger is ready to strike without mercy. Whether you join the party at a tailgate or in your own living room, Subway Catering's lineup includes giant subs, sandwich platters, cookie platters, chips and drinks, everything you need to crush hunger and score a touchdown for football fans everywhere. So get in there. Subway, eat fresh. Catering orders must be placed 24 hours in advance. See participating store for details.
In the winter of 1961, a piano player at the Black Orchid convinced his up-and-coming singer to try out a new song that he thought would be perfect for him. So Tony Bennett performed I Left My Heart in San Francisco for the first time in Hot Springs. In 2003, Bennett encored the trademark song in the Spa City, where he performed to a packed house at the dedication of the new Summit Arena. Catch a rising star during your next visit to Hot Springs, because the Spa City is Entertainment City.
Hey, this is Chris King, and you're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Ouachita goes 54 yards in 6 plays, taking 2 minutes and 21 seconds off the clock. And a 17-14 score with the Reddies leading by 3 in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. 9:34 to play until halftime. Phil Elson here along with R.J. Hawk. Hunter Lively's on the sideline, and the Reddies about to get the ball back. The kickoff will be coming left to right. And back of the 5 to return it for Henderson State, Javante Mack and Corey Chappelle. Right foot from Shelton Woolley comes through. A line drive kick. Mack sliding to catch it at the 12. And that's where he is marked down at the 12. It's an unfortunate situation there. Mack did not want to let it bounce because then it could go through the end zone, therefore not returnable. But with his knee on the ground and his hands on the football with possession, that is an unfortunate play. Henderson looking at a long field from the 12.
You almost want to try to scoop that thing up like a shortstop at that point rather than going down there and trying to make a miraculous catch. And that time he just slipped. We're starting to see a lot of people slip on this turf today, Phil.
53-yard kickoff, no return. Reddies go with an empty set, 5 wides. Trips to the right of Kevin Rogers, who is 7 for 11 throwing. 135 yards, puts a man in motion, drops back to throw. Kevin steps up, runs to his right. Kevin running for the 15, and he's dropped after a gain of 2. The coverage was outstanding on that play for the Ouachita secondary. And Rogers forced to run for the first time. And a short gain brings up 2nd down and 8.
Saw Kevin run last week on a designed quarterback keeper and ran quite well last week against Southern Arkansas.
Once again, the empty set. Trips left. Rogers surveys the scene. Takes the snap. Tigers bring 3 rushers. Rogers steps up, throws over the middle, and it is incomplete. Etaj Allen guarding against Darius Davis. And it's 3rd down and 8 for the Reddies.
Boy, that could have been close to a penalty right there. I thought that he may have gotten Darius a little bit before the ball got there. I mean, it was a close play. That could have gone either way that time, but I think Darius was even looking for a flag.
That's the same play that Davis scored on last week against Southern Arkansas. Simple crossing pattern. It's 3rd down and 7. Henderson only 1 of 4 on 3rd down so far. Rogers keeps a blocker in. 4-man rush. Drops back. Screen pass caught by Bryson. Up over the 15. At the 20. Bryson diving, and he was tackled right before the 1st down. Ball looked like it might have been loose, but it went out of bounds before the Tigers could corral it. Henderson will retain possession of the football. And this appears to be about a yard short of the 1st down. That was a great tackle made as Bryson dove for it.
Ball comes back to the fumbling spot. We're short of the line of game. It's 4th down.
Yeah, they said that Bryson lost the ball at the 22, needed the 23 to keep the drive going. So the Reddies,
it looks like
short of the first down by a half yard, bring out the punt team.
He had the first down, and then when he fumbled the football backwards, that's when they went back behind. So you go to where the ball was fumbled out of bounds, and, yeah, just not a good situation.
Low snap to Christian Latouf. Play whistle dead.
There's a penalty flag back here at the 37-yard line.
Way back. That's about 50 yards on the other side of where the play was occurring.
They never reset the play clock.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Oh, goodness.
4th down.
Boy, the Reddies are saying, Coach Maxfield's even saying they didn't reset the play clock.
So perhaps a little trouble up here in the press box with the play clock.
And that's not on the Reddies. The Great American Conference officials run the clocks when you do games like this.
Now the snap to Latouf. Left-footed kick. High, short, spiraling kick. Allen back at his own 45. Gets away from one man, but not another, but a flag comes out now. The official who threw the flag was about 5 yards away from the play, and that's as Allen tried to spin for some extra yardage.
I wonder what the penalty on this could be.
Very good coverage by the Reddies. And see anybody get a hand to the face.
During the return,
we'll see.
Illegal block in the back. Number 6. It's a 10-yard penalty. 1st down, Washita.
Freshman defensive back A.J. Burton from Conway with the illegal block for Washita. So a feather in the Reddies' cap. Instead of Washita getting outstanding field position, they just get good field position to the 32. 17-14's our score. Henderson by 3 in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. Great American Conference Championship is on the line. A berth in the national playoffs on the line, and all the pride that goes along with this game. Frazier takes the snap, gives to Keener. Keener with a stutter step move. He's up over the 35.
Ball's on the ground.
37, loose ball. We had no word from the official. They say that it's a tackle and no fumble.
Boy, he was coming backwards when the ball came out, Phil. He had not even come close to the ground. That happened right there in front of us, and he wasn't even near touching the ground before that ball came out.
Keener with a gain of 5 yards. It's 2nd down and 5 for Washita from the 37. 7:40 to play in the half and a moving clock. Keener in the backfield. Tight end steps back, put in motion, stays to the right. Frazier takes the snap, fakes the give to Keener, keeps it himself over the 40, near the 1st down to the 42. He had the 1st down. A gain of 5 yards on 2nd down, and it's 1st and 10 for Washita.
Reddy's got to find a way to stop this running attack for Washita Baptist. They're starting to pick up steam every time they get the ball back, and this defense has been on the field quite some time now, Phil. When you look at this Reddy defense, they've been on the field a majority of the 2nd quarter.
Out of 30 Tiger snaps, 19 running plays for 71 yards, an average of 3.7 a carry. Kyle Frazier on 1st and 10 from the 43, takes the snap, drops back to throw, fires a pass, and it's caught for the 1st down at the Henderson 45 by Drew White. And the chains move once again after a pickup of 11 yards for Washita. Frazier hasn't been throwing very much over the last few drives. As RJ mentioned, it's been simple runs for the Tigers. Frazier shows off a very strong throwing arm. The best arm we've seen out of any opposing quarterback this year. And I don't even think it's close. Twin wides to the left. White's in motion. He'll line up to the right. Frazier takes the snap, gives to Keener. Keener has a hole up over the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Stephen Keener takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Washita. The Tigers have the lead after a 45-yard rushing touchdown by Stephen Keener. Boy, that hole opened up very quickly on the left side.
Yeah, it did. That offensive line did a nice job getting a push and really pushing the Reddies all the way to the right, and Stephen Keener was all by himself.
Keener with a 2nd touchdown today, his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. He leads the Great American Conference in running touchdowns. The point after by Shelton Woolley is good, and the Washita Tigers have the lead for the first time. 6:25 to play in the 1st half. Washita 21, Henderson 17. This is the 88th Battle of the Ravine on the Reddies Radio Network.
For Henderson State Ready apparel and souvenirs, stop by the Reddy Bookstore located on the HSU campus and the Garrison Center. For your convenience, the Reddy Bookstore is open before every Reddy football game. And students, save money on textbooks at the Reddy Bookstore, where you can purchase, rent, and sell back textbooks every day. The Reddy Bookstore is open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 8 to 4 on Friday. We also have HSU apparel for kids, gift items, and alumni items. Find us on Facebook at Reddy Bookstore or online at www.hsubooks.com.
Wendy's presents Red in Best Food Forward. Hey, Red, can you help me make my online dating profile more mature?
Well, that's a Wendy's smoked Gouda chicken sandwich, right? Try a foodie with a refined palate.
Nice.
And what did you do yesterday?
I visited my mom.
Ooh, family-oriented.
And brought her my laundry.
Roy, you're 34.
And a half. Wendy's deliciously grown-up new smoked Gouda chicken layers smoky Gouda cheese, caramelized onion sauce, and Dijon aioli on a soft brioche bun.
Now that's better.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time.
This is Coach Mike Vilarovich, and you're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Ouachita Baptist goes 68 yards in 4 plays, and the Tiger offense started to pick up some steam. After Henderson took a 10-point lead, the Tigers have scored 2 unanswered touchdowns. Ouachita 21, Henderson 17. Reddies about to get the ball back with 6:25 left in the first half. The kickoff left to right. Short line drive kick, caught at the 21 by the Reddies, and up over the 30 for the return. It looked like that was, number 38. That's Ryan McDonald on the return for Henderson State. And the Reddies at the 31 will start the drive needing a score, a touchdown to retake the lead.
Tell you, the Reddies have kind of fallen in that lull where they haven't been able to get much going offensively. And 2 straight drives now for the Reddies where they have just kind of stalled out and not been able to find anything.
Kevin Rogers takes the snap, gives to Jaquan Cole, steps past the tackler at the 30 and dropped at the 32. Not a lot there, maybe a yard on the carry for Jaquan Cole, who stays in. Second down and a long 9 for Henderson State, right at their own 33. Reddies trailing by 4. Rogers with a running back on either side puts Chappelle in motion. He'll line up behind Snap in the slot. The snap, back is Rogers to throw. Steps past a man. He's going to be hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. The pocket collapsed pretty quickly. And the sack made by Kyle Lamoth, the defensive end from New Iberia, Louisiana. First sack of the afternoon for Ouachita. Henderson now 3rd and 15.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin coverage was good downfield. Kevin had nowhere to go with the football, and he tried to step out of a tackle and go to his right and just got taken down.
Reddies have found themselves 3rd and long in the last 2 drives. Haven't been able to convert. 4 wide, single back for Rogers, who takes the snap on a 3-man rush. Drops back, steps up in the pocket, fires over the middle, and it's dropped by Mark Chouse. Would have been short of the first down anyway. There were 3 tacklers there. If he would have made the catch, there were a wall of white shirts right at the first down marker. It bounced off Chouse's hands, and the Reddies go 3 and out and are forced to punt from the 28.
That's just not, the third quarter woes that we've seen the last couple of weeks seem to have now presented themselves here in the second quarter.
Etaj Allen back near his 36. Houston Ray with a short, wobbly punt. Bounces at the 45. Allen gets out of the way. Picks it up now and lost the ball. And it's picked up by Ouachita. A lucky break there for Etaj Allen. Spencer Knight, a senior fullback from right here in Arkadelphia, was Johnny on the spot. Otherwise, Henderson was about to get a very lucky play.
Yeah, that could have been bad for Ouachita Baptist. And usually you just want to stay as far away from the football once it starts rolling like that, and decided not to.
Well, if you're Ouachita now, you go with the running game. No doubt the running game has been very solid, especially here in the second quarter.
At the 27-yard line, 28-yard line. First down, Ouachita.
So the ball was marked down to the 28. 116 yards on the ground in this first half for Ouachita, an average of 5.8 yards a carry. Henderson averaging just under 3 yards a carry. Tight end put in motion. Kyle Frazier takes the snap and he gives to Brandon Marks. Marks making him man miss. He's up over the 30, past the 35, near the first down when he's dropped. A gain of 9 yards for Brandon Marks. And the big chunks of yardage keep coming off on the ground for the Ouachita Tigers. Really, it feels like Ouachita is averaging about 6 or 7 yards a carry in the last 3 drives. Marks remains in. Twin wides, tied in motion again to the left. The snap to Frazier, gives to Marks. Marks running to his left, getting away from a tackler and dropped out of bounds by Lawson Scholes. He lost a couple of yards on the play. And this will bring up a 3rd down and about 3 for the Tigers. This is where Henderson really needs to come up with a stop.
He lost a couple of yards on that play, and so now you've got 3rd down for OBU, and you're right. They've got to find a way to get a stop right here. This running attack for OBU has just been stout, and we knew it was going to be, coming in this game, but that ready front 3 has got to find a way to close the gap a little bit.
Keener, the running back, set to the left of Frazier. 4 wides, trips to the right, the snap. Frazier looks up the middle. He pulls the ball down. He runs for the first down. He's up over the 40, dropped at the 43, 8-yard gain. And it appeared once Frazier realized that the coverage was good, he's just going to run for it. And it's an easy first down for Ouachita.
Well, and that's why he's so good. I mean, that's why everybody's kind of talked about him, because, he's so good throwing the football, but he realizes that when the coverage is there, that he can also use his feet and run with the ball as well.
OBU by 4, 21-17, 3:20 to play in the half. Frazier gives to Keener, carries a couple of tacklers past the 45, dropped at the 49, just short of midfield. Gain of about 7 yards to Stephen Keener. And that was hard running for Keener, who now in this first half is near 100 yards.
Boy, Keener's a good back, man. He's strong and he's quick. That's the thing. He's just eluding these arm tackles from the Reddies.
Keener now 10 carries, 96 yards. Gets his 11th carry. He's past midfield, and Keener has the first down before he's pushed backwards by the Reddy defensive line.
He's like a shorter, stockier version of Ryan McDonald, and quicker.
Gain of 4 yards. Keener at 5'8", 195 yards. Kind of that bowling ball body type. Low center of gravity. And a guy that you might have a little bit of trouble to even see him when he lines up behind Kyle Frazier, who was taller than Keener by about a half foot. Play's been whistled dead. Apparently, Keener might be short of that first down by inches.
Yeah, I think they're going to look at it, and they may bring the chains on, because that does look like it could be a bit short. And Todd Knight's out on the field trying to discuss it with the officials. They're going to bring the chains on to look at it.
And Dean Belcher convened a convention of officials. And let's head down to Hunter Lively for a Ready sideline report. Hunter, you get a good look at the ball where it is now?
Yeah, it looks a little bit short, guys. We're going to find out here in a second. This Reddy defense, it looks like they're trying to strip the ball more than they are trying to make tackles, and that's what's allowed Ouachita Baptist to get big gains on first and second down.
Well, it does make sense to try to go for the football at times, but if you're going for the football and not wrapping a guy up, with a guy like Stephen Keener, who's a little tough to bring down, and Frazier, who appears to be tough to bring down.
Well, in those first 3 drives for Ouachita Baptist, Henderson State did a good job stopping the run, and they went for the body rather than the ball. And sometimes you just got to let those fumbles come to you and let it happen. And the officials are going to bring the chains out. And
they're stretching it. They're making sure it is stretched where it needs to be. They have the first down by about a link.
Yeah. I don't understand. It was that. I mean, the ball was about 4 yards from the chains. I don't see why it took so long to see if it was a first down.
So Ouachita will keep the drive moving, bringing up 1st and 10 from the Reddy 47. Henderson trailing 21-17 near the end of the first half.
2:32 on the game clock.
Puts an extra 10 seconds on the clock. Henderson does get the ball to start the second half.
The clock will start on my signal.
Right now, they're in danger of heading into the locker room down by 2 scores the way Ouachita's moved the ball.
And we've talked so much about this Reddy team in the third quarter. Not been a good third quarter team.
Marks is the running back in the pistol behind Kyle Frazier, who takes the snap and gives to Marks. Marks past the 45, lowering his head, carries a tackler to the 40. And a gain of 8 yards to Brandon Marks. I can't think of a carry on this drive, RJ, that's been any shorter than 6.
Yeah, no, you're right. Hey, we were talking about how the Reddies are not a good third quarter team. It's the only quarter this year the Reddies have been outscored in 47-48. The Reddies have only scored 47 points in the third quarter this year.
Marks with the carry. Hit right after the transfer at the 40-yard line, and the Reddies push backwards finally, and it's no gain on second down. When I talk about a good third down team, RJ, Ouachita outscoring opponents 55-13 in the third quarter this year. So Ouachita's only allowed less than 2 full touchdowns in the third quarter all year long.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive to see what they've done this year. And, Ouachita, you're starting to see in this ball game why they have been so good this year, because Stephen Keener has just been a monster in this ball game, and he's showing why he's one of the better running backs in the Great American Conference. Hey, fans, are you interested in joining the Ready Club? Well, you get free soda, popcorn, and reserved seats to ball games, and also halftime access to the donor room. All you have to do is call Sean Jones at 870-230-5072 for $250. You can get you a seat and become a member of the Ready Club. And Phil, you and I have talked about it before. Games like this especially, it's all about the parking. You get a parking spot, and it is literally about 20 feet from the door.
And with 5 home games scheduled at Carpenter Haygood Stadium next year, and you want to take advantage of all the good parking you can get. It's a 21-17 Ouachita lead. The Tigers just used a timeout. That leaves them with 2. And Ouachita lines it up. 3rd down and 3 from the 40. Frazier in a quarterback. He's got Keener to his right. Pardon me, that's Marks to his right. Takes the snap and drops back on a 3-man rush. Pulls the ball down. Frazier running for the first down. Juke move past the 35. Dropped at the 31 by Josh Davis. Pardon me, call him down to the 32-yard line. So a gain of 8 yards. And the chains move once again.
I'm surprised the Reddies haven't put a spy on Kyle Frazier to not allow him to pick up those big yards whenever the coverage is right there downfield.
Keener to the left of Frazier. 4 wide, split evenly. Ball in the left hash, and the Reddies bring the blitz as he dumps it off. The pass caught by Cavante Pope. He's up over the 25 and tackled at the 23-yard line by Gary Vines, a 9-yard gain. And it's 2nd down and 1. Call it 2nd down and 2, a gain of 8. Catch by Cavante Pope is his 2nd today. Now Frazier drops back. He fires for the end zone, and it is caught. Drew White drops the ball when he came back down to the earth. Lucky break for the Reddies. White had the ball in his hands, and he could not hold on when he fell back into the end zone.
Yeah, that's a lucky break for the Reddies, because he went high for the football that time, and as he came back down, it just kind of popped out. And, it's only 3rd and 2, Phil, so I would expect a run right here by Marks.
Ball at the 24, 3rd and 2 with 56 seconds remaining in the half. Frazier takes the snap. He pump fakes. He loses the ball. It's loose. It's picked up by Henderson. And the Reddies lost the ball again. And Ouachita might have recovered it at the 45.
Well, that's a terrible job for
the Reddies have it. Henderson State recovers the ball. The officials take a look at the pile, and the Reddies recover the ball way back at the 44. But that ball bounced about 20 yards, RJ.
Yeah, no, you're right. Josh Davis tried to go for the scoop and score, and he knew that he messed up. Just fall on the football and get the ball back for your team. But luckily, one of the defensive linemen came back and got it done.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Ready Sports Network. KYXK ESPN 106.9 in Gurdon, Arkadelphia, and AM 920 KARN, the sports animal in Little Rock. Reddies have 46 seconds to make some noise here at the end of the first half, trailing 21-17 off their second forced turnover of the afternoon. Kevin Rogers out of 5 receiver set. Takes the snap, short pass to the near side, caught by a diving Mark Chouse. Short gain, about 4.5 yards. Reddies near the 50 with second down and about 5.5.
Well, this is when the Reddies are good, when they go in that hurry up.
Clock in motion at 30 seconds. Rogers again, a short pass. Chouse with a catch. First down out of bounds at the 46. The officials say, well, they're getting a look at it. That is right where he needed the first down, and they moved the chain.
Boy, Chouse could have probably picked up another 5 yards, but went out of bounds a little too soon. Either way, he made the catch and got out of bounds.
Clock stops at 28 seconds. First and 10. Rogers takes the snap on a 4-man rush. Pocket holding. He pulls the ball down. He throws to the right side. Davis with a catch and a first down before being tackled at the 33. And the Henderson Reddies with a 13-yard gain and 19 seconds left in the half will move the chains.
It looks like there's a Ouachita player down on that far side, Phil. He's going to stop the clock, and they've got the trainers over there looking at him. Can't quite see who it is. He's on his back right now, and how about that catch by Darius Davis, though, that time? He tried to make a one-handed stop to pull himself back up and couldn't quite get there, but either way, he got the first down. And
there is a flag on the play.
It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still first down.
Left guard John Guerra calling for being ineligible down the field. And an official timeout due to the injured Ouachita player. Well, the Reddies will head off the field to the near sideline. Well, that's a big penalty on Guerra. Instead of a first down, you have the time tick off the clock, and the ball's been placed back past midfield at the Reddy 49.
Phil, that looks like coming off the field is Etaj Allen, the defensive back for Ouachita Baptist.
Allen able to make it to the sideline. And now the Reddies and the Tigers come back out. 19 seconds left in the half. 2 timeouts for Henderson. Rogers goes with an empty set. 5 wides. Trips to his left. Takes the snap. The man breaks free as he gets a pass caught by Davis at the 45. Juking his way past the 40 and close to the first down. Looks like he's short by a couple of inches. Clock stops at 6 seconds as the Reddies use their second timeout.
That was a receiver screen that time to Davis, and there was nobody in the middle of the field, and Davis was able to get down there and get the first down. Now you've got 6 seconds left, and the Reddies have 1 timeout remaining. Boy, I tell you, Phil, this would be a long field goal for Houston Ray. I would imagine you're going to just try to pick up some yardage, get the field goal, because the Reddies will get the football at halftime.
Well, there's also perhaps the chance to just throw it to the end zone and see what you can get. Perhaps.
See, I don't like that.
Yeah, that play, it's really just, it's a shot in the dark more than anything.
I would rather try to pick up the points rather than trying to come up with a long play down to the end zone. You've only got 6 seconds, so you don't have a lot of time to work with.
Kevin Rogers brings the Reddies out. They have 1 timeout, 6 seconds left in the half. Ball starts just inside the right hash mark. 5 wides. There he is, Davis in the slot to the left of Rogers. Here's the snap. Rogers fires to the far sideline. Chouse with the catch and out of bounds at the 30. 3 seconds when Chouse went out of bounds after a 7-yard gain. And here comes the kicking team. Houston Ray will come on for what will be his longest field goal attempt of the year. His longest made field goal was 43. That was very early in the season. And this one is going to be a 47-yard field goal attempt from the right hash.
Well, I know that during the warmer conditions, he's kicked it from 55.
The snap to Chouse, the hold good. The kick is up. The kick has the distance. The kick by Houston Ray is good at the buzzer. Houston Ray with his longest field goal of the season. The freshman from Owensboro, Kentucky, makes it a 1-point game heading into the locker room. 21-20. Ouachita over Henderson going into the break. Let's head down to the sideline. Hunter Lively standing by with Scott Maxfield.
Coach, it looked like OBU was going to go up by 2 scores there, but a big play by your defense and then a huge field goal by Houston Ray. Take us through that scenario.
Well, we needed a big stop right there. We've been struggling a little bit. Field positions hurt us some, and then they got a couple of big plays on us. But it's a good football game. We just got to rank right there in the second half and come out firing.
They've had a lot of success on the ground with Kyle Frazier and Stephen Keener running the ball. What adjustments have to be made in the second half in order to stop those guys?
Well, we just got to tackle a little bit better and get on those guys. We give them some holes in the running game. We got to play a little bit better up front.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
All right, Scott Maxfield with Hunter Lively as the head coach of the Reddies takes a jog to the end zone to our right, and we will take a break before coming back to the Zeiser Wealth Management halftime show. We're going to have a busy halftime show. We've got Paul Cowley coming in, Dr. Glenn Jones, the president of Henderson State University. We'll get a look at all the stats from this first half and see what else is going on around the Great American Conference. All coming up during the Henderson State halftime show. Again, our score after 2 quarters of play in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. Henderson State trailing Ouachita Baptist 21-20 on the Reddies Radio Network.
Hi, folks. Glenn Hill here with Century 21, and it's a great day for some football, and we've got a great football team to watch. We're lucky to have such a wonderful county with such awesome teams. Makes for a great place to live. Just ask anybody. We support our teams, and our Century 21 team wants to support you. The Century 21 was ranked number 1 in the top 4 categories of customer satisfaction by J.D. Powers. Hey, that's pretty nice. We want to be on your team. Call Century 21.
Find your freedom with your new home with Jason Eddington of United Country Hometown Realtors. Nobody has more information available for your search to find that perfect home. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com. Take a virtual tour through all of the gorgeous properties. Check out the exclusive aerial views of the property. Go to ArkansasCountryHomes.com and pick out your perfect home. Then call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Let Jason work with you to guide you through the maze of finding that home with the most modern and unique ways possible. Call Jason Eddington at 870-210-1445. Life is good in Arkansas.
This is Darius Davis, and you're listening to the 2-time defending Great American Conference champions on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Well, a frigid Saturday afternoon in Arkadelphia. Sky's getting a little bit darker as the Ouachita Baptist Band makes their way onto the field at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium for a halftime performance. And it'll be a little bit of a longer halftime than usual with both bands performing and, of course, most of Arkadelphia inside Carpenter-Haygood Stadium. It's been an outstanding first half of the Reddies trailed 21-20 against Ouachita in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. Phil Elson here along with R.J. Hawk, and we are joined by a special guest, Henderson State University President Dr. Glenn Jones. And Dr. Jones looked a little bit chilly, but then again, so does everybody else. This has been a fun football game to watch.
It's been a lot of fun, exactly what we thought it would be. Both teams fighting very hard, very competitive game, very fun-filled atmosphere. As you said, all of Arkadelphia is here and then some. A lot of recruits are here, both football and academics, so we're excited to host so many people right now.
Yeah, I tell you, when you look at this, in years past, we have had festivities, carnival rides down here in the field, and one thing I asked you when you walked in, I said, what's new with you? And you said, well, can't you see the construction that's going on down here? That's what's new, and that prevented us from having the carnival rides, but it's going to be a great addition to Henderson State.
Yes, we went through a strategic planning process, and the number one priority that emerged, and the number one concern our entire campus had was the quality of student housing we had. So we needed to build better student housing. Our Board of Trustees approved a $33 million bond issue, so we're going to be adding about 800 new beds to our campus, and really this should take us into the next 2 or 3 decades in terms of updating our housing. So obviously you have to build it where you own the land, and this is one of the spots where we own the land. We're convinced that the Battle of the Ravine festivities will return as usual in the coming years. There's some additional spots that we have, and we've been talking with the committee that puts this on. But more than anything else, our number one priority is to make certain we're able to offer our students the best academic experience, the best residential experience, but also just the best collegiate experience. And that this building progress is what's important. It's needed. Our students have demanded it, and we're going to always respond to our students first and foremost.
Progress is the word that I can think of, and every time we would drive in from the interstate down Highway 7, we would see progress made on those apartments every weekend. And really, when you come down to this part of Arkadelphia, the progress is noticeable with Cliff Harris Stadium across the way, and of course the new facilities here at Henderson State University. And that's what you're always looking to do at any university, which is really increase as you said, the experience, the college experience here. That's what it's all about, aside from education.
Precisely. And so what you're seeing on the outside is just a portion of what's happening, I think, within the university itself. We have a plan that's going to guide us over the next 10 years as we strive to grow our enrollment to about 5,000 students. We're going to double our graduation rate and every other indicator of student success. We're going to raise the profile of the university itself. We're going to enhance existing academic programs, add new innovative programs that our students and the marketplace has been demanding. So we're not only being very responsive, we're being very proactive and looking out literally over the horizon and seeing what the next 10 years look like for our university.
Well, all this construction going on, I just have one more request. There's a press box here that we could use some heat in, and
RJ wants it named after him.
I know there's a lot more things on campus that need to get done.
There are, but I will pass the hat beginning here tonight, so if you all would like to contribute, we'd be more than happy to talk about it.
Why don't we pass the boot and have it be RJ's boot?
I will throw $5 in that boot to get the new press box going anyway. So, man, Dr. Jones, this has been, just talking about the last couple of years, the football team's been successful. You're starting to see the basketball team. They went up to Arkansas State a couple weeks ago and played a very competitive game, exhibition game with the Red Wolves. I mean, just athletics alone are starting to shape the way the university is successful. The university is successful in academics and the way they're moving forward, but then you're starting to see that transition into the athletics here at Henderson State.
Well, you heard Phil use the word progress earlier. I'll throw out another word for you, and that's compete. We're going to compete as a university for the best and brightest students the state has to offer. We're going to compete for the best and brightest faculty from around the country. We're going to compete to have the best facilities, the best experience. That's what the Reddies spirit is. We simply believe that we're capable of being an incredible university. We're great where we are. We've been handed an incredible legacy that we're going to build off of. But in order to really prepare for the next 10 years, we've got to be extremely competitive in all areas. And it begins first and foremost with taking care of your students and making certain that we have everything that we need to deliver an outstanding educational experience for them.
I told Sean Jones, I said, it's all nice having a new AD around. We always talk to him on the radio. I said, but it's kind of been tradition to have you on during the Battle of Ravine or at least one game.
This is our first time getting you on air this year.
We haven't had you on all year. I said, Sean, I'm tired of having you on the air. I want the president to come on with us one time. So
I'm only a call away, guys.
I know you are.
We'll use that number. Dr. Jones, thanks for stopping by.
Well, thank you all so much, and thank you all for doing such a great job of really, you're part of the success as well. I really appreciate the class you guys exhibit when you're calling the Reddies games. It just elevates the whole experience to a new level, and we have alums all around the country listening to you guys and tuning in, and so we really appreciate all that you're doing and all the support you lend to Reddy Athletics.
Well, we are proud to be co-sponsors of that Reddy spirit as well. It's Dr. Glenn Jones. Of course, you can go online at hsu.edu to learn more about all the exciting things happening right here.
Just launched a new website on Friday, so please come and check it out.
And even something more exciting, a new website. That's hsu.edu. Stick around. After the break, we'll be joined by Paul Calley, a former Reddy, and, of course, the head coach of the Bryant Hornets. 21-20, our score in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. Washita leading Henderson by 1. And back for more halftime show after this on the Reddies Radio Network.
For Henderson State Reddy apparel and souvenirs, stop by the Reddy Bookstore located on the HSU campus and the Garrison Center. For your convenience, the Reddy Bookstore is open before every Reddy football game. And students, save money on textbooks at the Reddy Bookstore, where you can purchase, rent, and sell back textbooks every day. The Reddy Bookstore is open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 8 to 4 on Friday. We also have HSU apparel for kids, gift items, and alumni items. Find us on Facebook at Reddy Bookstore or online at www.hsubooks.com.
Don't be sidelined due to your injury. The orthopedic team at Texarkana Surgery Center with doctors Richard Hilborn, Trey Mitchell, Doug Thompson, and Tom Young are here to get you back in the game. Texarkana Surgery Center, taking special care of our community for over 18 years.
Arkadelphia Super Smiles offers general dentistry for kids and young adults. Dr. Trevor Coffey and his staff look forward in treating your child and making sure they always have a super smile. Arkadelphia Super Smiles is located at 280 Professional Park Drive, Suite B in Arkadelphia. For an appointment, call 870-246-2828. And like always, our kids is accepted at Arkadelphia Super Smiles.
Stop in and check out the great savings at your neighborhood Sears Hometown store located at 2919 Pine Street in Arkadelphia. You can count on us for all your appliance, tool, electronic, and lawn and garden needs. Sears Hometown stores offer delivery, setup, and installation. We also have financing offers through Sears Card and a layaway program. Application is in-store and approval is immediate. Shop local at your Sears Hometown store located at 2919 Pine Street in Arkadelphia. Sears of Arkadelphia, proud sponsor of Henderson State University. Go Reddies. And remember, don't buy your mower where you buy your deodorant.
Reddy fans, this is Dustin Holland. You're listening to Reddy Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Welcome back to Carpenter Haygood Stadium. Your halftime score, Washita Baptist 21, the Henderson State Reddies 20. And you heard in the comeback right there, Dustin Holland. Well, We've got his old high school football coach, Paul Cowley, joining us here at halftime. And, Coach, before we talk about this game, you guys over at Bryant High School got a big playoff win last night over Springdale, right? Or was it Springdale Harbor?
Springdale Harbor.
Yeah, and you guys move on to the second round to take on Bentonville. And you guys are rolling right now. You did well in the regular season, got a high seed, and now you go on to play Bentonville next round.
Played one of the best games of the year last night. And we made some mistakes. We had to eliminate those, but I was proud of the kids, proud of the effort, and we hung in there at the end and made plays when we had to. Had a big extra point block there to save the victory.
And you pull it out and you go on to play Bentonville. Now, is that on the road or is that your place?
It's on the road. We made that trip in 2008 and again in 2010. It's a tough place to play. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like a little college up there in Bentonville. And, one thing you were a former Reddie, and you see this, you've played in this Battle of the Ravine before. This has been a game that it seems like every year you come back and watch this game. What do you think so far in this thing? I mean, it's been back and forth. Every type of emotion has been played out in this game so far.
Henderson dominated the first quarter, I thought, and Washita took over, the second quarter, took the lead. I was glad we were able to get momentum back there towards the end and hit that field goal. I was starting to get worried.
You and me both. That Kyle Frazier, you saw a little, I don't know if you got to see much in high school when he was with Shiloh Christian, but a heck of a high school athlete. He went to Auburn, not so much. Now has transferred back to Washita, but he's a heck of a player both in the air and on the ground.
He's a great-looking guy. I mean, just looking at it from the stands, he is built. He can run it. He's going to get 5 yards a pop. And then he's thrown a couple of dig routes and deep balls that look really good.
A guy that you know personally, and Dustin Holland, kind of opened the game with a nice spark as he caught that slot route pass and was able to take it for 39 yards.
He told me yesterday, I got to speak with him a little bit, and he told me, he said, Coach, I'm going to make some plays tomorrow. It'll be my last one.
And I'm going to tell you one thing. This group of seniors, think about this, Coach, when you've got a Kevin Rogers, Dustin Holland, Darius Davis, 3 guys just right there that have been playmakers for 4 years for this Henderson team. I mean, you don't see, and you know this from being, playing college and in high school, you don't see players of the caliber of Darius Davis and Kevin Rogers very often.
No, you don't. I talked to Coach Max after they introduced the seniors before the game. And I said, Coach, it's going to be hard to replace those guys. He said, I might just have to go with them. He said, I can't replace them.
Yeah, no, right now you've got a Dallas Hardison who used to play at Bentonville as a backup quarterback. And Dallas is good. I'm not taking anything away from Dallas, but it's like whenever you've got to go and replace a Troy Aikman at the quarterback position. It's a tough thing to do, and the Reddies are going to have to really rebuild pretty much that entire offense next year.
They are. Whoever has the task of filling Kevin Rogers' shoes, it's going to be in an impossible situation.
I said before the ball game, I said, the team that wins the turnover battle in this game most likely is going to win this game. I think that's still a true statement, but the Reddies are going to have to find a way to stop the run in order to be successful in this game.
They've been gashing us up the middle, and in long yardage situations, we're only rushing 3 and dropping 8, and they end up flushing the passer out, and they're running for the first down. I'm sure we're going to make an adjustment at halftime.
The Reddies have been good about making adjustments in the second half throughout the year. Coach Cowley, thanks for joining us at the half. The Bryant High School football coach as they move on to the second round of the high school football playoffs. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
The Reddies trail by 1 at half to Washita Baptist in the 88th meeting of the Battle of the Ravine. We've got more of the halftime show coming up next. It's it's Washita Baptist 21, Henderson State 20 on the Reddies Sports Network.
Suits, we've all got them, but we really hate wearing them. So why would you want to bank with people that have to wear suits every day? At Southern Bancorp, we take a casual approach to banking. No suits required here. We realize not every customer is going to fit the corporate mold. That's why we can customize loans and accounts based on your wants and needs, not try to fit you into a box or into a suit. We aren't your typical stuffy bankers, just friendly, laid-back people here to help you. We cater to all kinds of suits around here, but you can leave your birthday suit at home. Southern Bancorp, building communities, changing lives. Member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Ready for another season of hard-hitting game day parties? Hunger is ready to strike without mercy. Whether you join the party at a tailgate or in your own living room, Subway Catering's lineup includes giant subs, sandwich platters, cookie platters, chips and drinks, everything you need to crush hunger and score a touchdown for football fans everywhere. So get in there. Subway, eat fresh. Catering orders must be placed 24 hours in advance. See participating store for details.
SCM Architects have been serving Henderson State University for nearly 20 years. You'll recognize the firm's work on campus in the design of the new dining hall, the Charles Dunn Student Recreation Center, Sturgis Honors Hall, and East and West Residence Halls. This semester, SCM Architects have been privileged to work on the restoration of Proctor Hall and the recently completed interior renovation of Garrison Center's Grand Ballroom. Learn more about the firm's higher education, commercial, interior design, historic preservation, and master planning projects at scmarchitects.com and on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. SCM Architects is a proud sponsor of Ready Athletics.
June 10th, 1936 was the centennial of Arkansas becoming a state. So President Franklin Roosevelt and wife Eleanor chose to spend the day, where else? In Hot Springs. The couple enjoyed a picnic with old friend Harvey Couch at his estate on Lake Catherine, followed by what was called an old-time camp meeting. Follow in the footsteps of history with a tour of historical architecture and a relaxing picnic on one of Hot Springs' beautiful lakes. Plan your visit today at hotsprings.org because the Spa City is History City.
Hey, Reddy fans, this is Glenn Bobo. Welcome to Henderson State Radio Network.
And back inside Carpenter Haygood Stadium with the Show Band of Arkansas midway through their performance. Sun sets and the lights taking full effect with the Reddies trailing 21-20 against Ouachita in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. Before we get a look at our Zizer Wealth halftime statistics, let's take a look around the Great American Conference and see what has happened today. A final score comes out of Southern Nazarene as Southwest Baptist takes down Southern Nazarene by a final score of 20-14. And Southern Nazarene ends the season 0-11, their second year in a row, losing every game since coming up to Division II football from NAIA. The Harding Bisons are very close to clinching a share of the Great American Conference Championship, and it certainly looks like they've got it locked up right now. Harding blowing out Arkansas Tech 41-0 near the end of the fourth quarter in Searcy. So Harding, that started today 8-1 with their only loss coming to Ouachita, has a chance if Henderson were to win and beat Ouachita today, it'd have a three-way tie atop the GAC. Right now, Harding will be rooting on Henderson for the rest of this football game. Other games that we can get you updates on, they're at halftime in Monticello. Southern Arkansas over the Boll Weevils 35-26 in the annual Battle of the Timberlands. Northwestern Oklahoma with a 21-6 lead at Southwestern about midway through the fourth quarter, and also starting the fourth quarter in Ada, Oklahoma, Southeastern leads East Central 18-9. And then our score here at halftime: Ouachita Baptist 21, Henderson State 20. Let's get a look at the halftime statistics. They're brought to you by Zizer Wealth Management. Get a look at the team statistics first, and Henderson State has gained a total of 200 yards on 28 plays. And so that means the Reddies only averaging 7.1 yards a play, 258 yards for Ouachita on 43 plays. And the Tigers are averaging 6 yards a play. But you can tell right there the difference is in plays where they've actually been able to snap 15 more offensive snaps for Ouachita than Henderson State. On the ground, Ouachita has gained 136 yards on 29 carries, an average of 4.7 per play. Henderson has only attempted 10 rushes and has gained 28 yards, an obvious 2.8 yards per carry. The turnovers is really where things have been on the Reddies side. Henderson forcing 2 fumbles by Ouachita, and the Reddies have not turned the ball over once. Henderson turning those 2 turnovers into 2 field goals by Houston Ray, including the field goal that took us into the break, a 47-yarder by Ray that made it a 1-point game. So Henderson, on points off turnovers, has outscored Ouachita 6-0. Penalties: Ouachita was whistled 3 times for 35 yards. Henderson 4 penalties for 26 yards. And time of possession goes to Ouachita, 18 minutes, 52 seconds of possession time for the Tigers, and just over 11 minutes of possession time for Henderson State. On third down, Henderson is only 1 of 6. Ouachita converting 6 of 11. Neither team tried to convert a 4th down. Individual numbers: Kevin Rogers has thrown 18 times, 12 completions for 172 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. The Reddies are led by 19 yards on the ground from Ryan McDonald. That includes a touchdown run and a 13-yard gain. But no other Reddy is more than 7 yards. Jaquan Cole, 3 carries, 7 yards. Rodney Bryson quiet with 4 yards on 2 carries. And Kevin Rogers ran twice for -2 yards. In the receiving category, Darius Davis, 4 catches for 72 yards. Mark Chouse, 3 receptions for 16. Corey Chappelle, 2 catches, 22 yards. Dustin Holland made 1 catch. It was a 40-yard gain. Javante Mack, a 16-yard touchdown catch. And Rodney Bryson had a 6-yard reception. For Ouachita, Kyle Frazier, 8 completions on 13 attempts for 122 yards and 1 touchdown. Stephen Keener misfired on his only pass attempt. Keener, though, has run for 100 yards in the first half, 100 on the nose, 11 carries, 2 touchdowns, an average of 9.1. Brandon Marks touched the ball 8 times for 29 yards, and Frazier gained 7 yards on 10 carries, but Frazier also fumbled the ball twice. Drew White receiving 3 times for 51. Stephen Keener, 20 yards of receptions on 2 catches. Cavante Pope quiet with 2 catches and 13 yards. Jalen Jones, his only reception was a 38-yard touchdown thrown by Kyle Frazier. Recapping the scoring, Henderson State scored first on a 2-yard touchdown run by Ryan McDonald. That was set up by a 40-yard pass play to Dustin Holland, and an interference call in the end zone completed a 3-play, 61-yard drive. Gave the Reddies a 7-0 lead at the 8:08 mark. But Ouachita would come back and tie it on the 38-yard pass play to Jalen Jones, and that was less than 2 minutes later to tie the game at 7-7. The touchdown for Jones completed a 4-play, 65-yard drive that took just under 2 minutes. Reddies came back on the next drive, scored on a 5-play, 74-yard drive that took a minute 57. Javante Mack made the catch in the back of the end zone, complete on the drive with a 16-yard catch. 14-7 Henderson State. They made it a 10-yard play after forcing the fumble by Frazier deep in his own territory, and Houston Ray would kick a 27-yard field goal. Reddy's only got 4 yards on that drive on 4 plays, but with the field position, Ray on the 27-yard field goal made it 17-7. Ouachita then scores 2 touchdowns after that. Stephen Keener at the 9:34 mark from 3 yards out. That completed a 6-play, 54-yard drive, and then Keener about 3 minutes later scores from 45 yards out, completes a 68-yard 4-play drive in a minute 46. And those 2 touchdowns by Keener put Ouachita up 21-17. Ouachita was driving near the end of the first half, but Henderson forced a fumble by Kyle Frazier. It was picked up by the Reddies, and they would move it 26 yards in 5 plays to line up Houston Ray for a field goal at the buzzer. Longest field goal for Houston in his freshman year, 47 yards out, and that would make it a current score of 21-20. Ouachita leading Henderson in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. That's our Zizer Wealth Management halftime stats. At Zizer Wealth Management, they help you grow your clients, protect, and harvest your wealth. They'll let us show you the difference. You can learn more at ZizerWealth.com. We're about 3:30 away from the start of the second half here at Carpenter-Haygood Stadium. We'll come back. We'll get the second half coming to you next. 21-20, Ouachita over Henderson in the Battle of the Ravine. And that second half play-by-play next on the Reddies Radio Network.
Do you have facial hair or know someone who does? Then November is the month for you. All month, the National Movember movement uses the mustache as a talking point to start the conversation on men's health. Now, there's Mo Dairy. As a farmer, you likely pay closer attention to the health of your cows and crops than you do your own health. It's time to focus on you. Protect yourself by contacting your doctor for an annual physical, and grow a mustache to support the cause and spread the word. Learn more about Mo Dairy and what you can do to support the movement by liking Mo Dairy on Facebook. Grow, show, educate, and change the face of men's health. This public service announcement was sponsored by the Mo Dairy Coalition. Visit Mo Dairy on Facebook for a complete list of sponsors.
This is Kevin Rogers, and you're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
And back inside Carpenter-Haygood Stadium as the Tigers and the Reddies have arrived on the field and starting to warm up before our second half kickoff. And Henderson State will receive the second half kickoff trailing by 1. Phil Elson here along with RJ Hawk. Hunter Lively will join us during this second half as well. And RJ, the third quarter has been the roughest quarter for the Reddies all season long. You mentioned it during the first half of the broadcast. It's the only quarter where the Reddies have scored fewer than 115 points, and it's the only quarter where they've been outscored by their opponent. Henderson with just 47 third-quarter points this year, giving up 48. And the third quarter, at least defensively, is Ouachita's strongest. They've held opponents to 13 third-quarter points. Henderson better play a good third quarter. You don't want to go into the fourth trailing big time.
Yeah, no, you're right, Phil. And the Reddies have got to figure out, we always talk about if you're going to have a bad point in the game, it's going to come in the third quarter. Well, they've already had their bad point in the game. They can't let that happen anymore. They can't have a third quarter like what they've done the last couple weeks. They've already had that. You got to come back out and start fresh. And I imagine Coach Maxfield went in there and talked to them and said, hey, look, if you guys want to win this thing, you got to do it right now. Now's the time. For you seniors, you got to step up right now and get this thing done. And we'll see how it turns out. The Reddies are going to get the football to start the half. And let's go down to Hunter Lively right now and see if what the thought on the sideline is. Hunter.
Yeah, guys, these guys just came out from their warm-ups after half, and everybody's jacked up, ready to go. We got the fans into it. Both teams have entered onto the field, and we're about to get the second half underway.
Hey, what's it feel like down there on the field? A little chilly?
Yeah, the wind's picked up just a little bit. The temperatures dropped. What little bit of sun there was is going down, and so it's getting a little bit colder down here, guys.
Yeah, a little bit colder. That's putting it mildly. It is an ice box today.
Yeah, it's like a little igloo where we're at in this press box. There's no heat whatsoever, and I know everybody listening right now, if you're here, you're thinking, look, it's a football game. You shouldn't have heat up in the press box.
I tell you what, I love weather like this for football. This
I do
reminds
too.
me of last year's playoff game against St. Cloud State. It wasn't comfortable, but it was great weather for a great football game.
Everybody's jumping around now, though. We're underway in the second half.
Second half kickoff going right to left. And returned by Darius Davis from the 10-yard line outside the left hash mark. Davis up over the 20 past the 25 and dropped short of the 30 at the 29-yard line. So a return of 19 yards for Darius Davis. Now, defensively, RJ, if you're the Reddies, you've got to be able to stop the run. Yeah. Offensively, it's not that you have to run the football, but you've got to be able to sustain drives. And it's more simplistic than just getting points. I think right now you want to keep the ball out of Ouachita's hands if at all possible.
If at all possible, but that's not the mantra for this offense. They don't keep the ball out of other people's hands because they score so fast.
And the Reddies go on the ground on the first play to Rodney Bryson, who carries it up past the 30 to the 35. And Bryson with a 6-yard gain. We didn't see a lot of 6-yard gains on the ground in that first half for Henderson, so already a nice start to the second half for the Reddies. A 6-yard gain will bring up second down and 4. Trips right to Rogers, single receiver to his left. Bryson remains in the backfield. The snap. Rogers with time to throw. Deep to the left. Snap behind the defense. Snap can't make the catch. Bounced off the shoulder pad of the defensive back, Jeremy Small. I don't think Small ever saw the football. It bounced off his shoulder pad and falls incomplete at the Ouachita 30.
A lot of people say you would throw a pass interference play in that, but that was an underthrown ball by Kevin Rogers, and the corner doesn't have to turn around and look to see where the ball is if it's underthrown.
Well, third down has been a tough place for the Reddies. 1 for 6 on third down. And Rogers empties the set. Trips to the right. Kevin barking out orders to his wide receivers. Tells something to Dustin Holland, slot right. The snap, 3-man run. Rogers steps up in the pocket. He's going to try to run for it to the 35. First down past the 40. Rogers out of bounds at the 42. And Kevin gains 5 yards to keep this drive going. That doesn't happen much either.
He pulled out his inner Kyle Frazier on that one, didn't he?
I didn't know he had one.
I know it. Well, we saw him run a little bit last week, and it's just when Kevin gets going, it takes his gears a little bit longer to start turning before he picks up speed.
And Rogers tightens the formation from the 42, first down and 10. Bryson, the running back. Chouse in motion to the right. Rogers gives to Bryson up the middle past the 45. Pile moving to the 48, and then it goes backwards, stopping at the 48-yard line, a gain of 6 yards. And Henderson with another nice running play on first and 10.
Yeah, was able to pick up another 6 yards on the play. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 4 now for the Reddies. Got to like that they're running the football, though, trying to wear this defense down.
Bryce into the backfield, 4 wides on 2nd and 4. Ball's right between the hashes, and Rogers gives to Rodney again. First down past the 50. He's past the 48, dropped to the 47, 5-yard gain. Second first down for the Reddies, and they've done nothing but run it on this drive. Henderson 3 yards into Washita territory, trailing by 1 early in the second half. Bryson in front of Rogers to his left, 4 wides. Rogers takes the snap, gets rid of it quickly, caught by Dustin Holland. Short of the 40-yard line. He twists the tackler down at the 41. And Holland with a gain of 6. That's 3 first downs in a row now, RJ. The Reddies have gained 6 yards.
Well, you got to like the way the run is setting up the pass for the Reddies, because those first 2 drives that went for a first down, they were able to pick up 5-6 yards and get the first down. Now that just sets up the pass.
Rogers back to throw. Rogers is pressured. Rogers running past the 40, tripped up near the first down. He needs the 37. They'll mark him down to the 38. And there's a gain of 3 yards. And the Reddies now have 3rd down and 1. And they'll go with a jumbo package and short yardage back Ryan McDonald.
Well, once the offense brings in their jumbo set, Washita's bringing in theirs. And if they were smart, they'd get the ball off quick while Washita's trying to get people in there.
Jackson's the single receiver. Now Rogers put in motion to the left, and the backside official is throwing a flag, and the Reddies were too quick.
Number 51. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's the left tackle, Mark Gonzalez, called for being too quick. And then Gonzalez heads out after the Reddies no longer need the jumbo package. It's now 3rd and 6.
That's not a smart play by that offensive line. The offensive line is killing the Reddies with these false start penalties.
Back at the 43 Washita territory. The clock put in motion. Close to 12 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Bryson's the running back. 4 wides. Trips left of Rogers. Big 3rd down for Henderson. Reddies converting 2 of 7 3rd downs. New play call from the sideline. Rogers communicates. The snap, and it's a running play to Bryson. Straight up the gut. Bryson dives for the first down and comes up short by about a yard.
That just didn't seem like a very good spot to you, Phil.
Well, judging by where the officials mark him down, he's short. Now, the head official has put the ball at the 38, and you need 1 more yard to keep it going. The Reddies are going to go for here. It's not where they usually punt. And they go with the exact same formation they had on what was 3rd and 1. And now on 4th and 1, they go jumbo. Rogers had been put in motion the last time they lined up like this. Rogers in motion. The direct snap will go to Ryan McDonald. McDonald takes the snap right up the middle, following a blocker. Hit near the first down and pushed backwards. And the officials coming right towards midfield to figure this out. What is the play? It looks like the Reddies are short. Washita beginning to celebrate, and it looks like the Tigers will retain possession of the football.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Washita now. Frazier takes the snap at his own 38 and gives to Stephen Keener. And Keener tripped up at the 40-yard line, a gain of 2.
Another tackle for the Reddies.
The big tackle for the Washita Tigers was made by Barkley Leggins. Leggins is one of a few white shirts that was close to that play. And the Reddies back defensively here. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Washita Tigers. Tight end in motion to the left. Frazier takes the snap, runs an option, pitches to Keener. Keener past the 40 and run out of bounds, short of the 45. About a 4-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd down and call it 3. It's the first time we've seen the Tigers break out the option.
Yeah. You know, the Reddies have gotten Washita to 3rd down multiple times today. They just can't seem to stop them on 3rd down.
Washita 6 of 11 converting 3rd downs. 4 wide, single back. Frazier against the blitz, throws incomplete. He had Keener wide open in the flats, but he was forced to throw earlier than he wanted thanks to Blake Lopez breaking free on the blitz.
Yeah, nice job. Blake Lopez had nobody guarding him, and it was just a free release on that right side, and he went straight after Kyle Frazier and just made him throw the ball quicker than he wanted to.
So the Reddies about to get the ball back on the punt from Shelton Woolley. Woolley takes the snap, gets rid of the ball, a high spiraling punt, and Davis from the 10 calls for the fair catch. Fair catch at the 11-yard line. So a punt of 50 yards and no return. And the Henderson Reddies with the football at the 12, trailing by 1.
It just seems to me like you would want to let that ball hit and roll into the end zone. You think that with the amount of spiral that thing's got going on it, it's just going to roll into the end zone. But either way, the Reddies now have the ball first and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Kevin Rogers keep a single back on this formation, trips right. Jaquan Cole is the running back. The snap, Kevin fakes the give, throws to Holland, catches at the 17. Holland with a first down to the 25. 13-yard play to Dustin Holland. His third catch of the day gets him over 50 yards. Mark Chouse has checked in. He'll line up slot left. Snap wide left. Chappelle in the slot left. And James Jackson all alone wide right. From the 25, first and 10, Rogers takes the snap, throws a short pass caught by Chappelle at the 30, dropped after the catch, a gain of 5. Third catch by Chappelle. It'll be second down and 5 for Henderson from their own 30. 21-20 score, Ouachita leading. Tigers trying for an undefeated regular season and a berth for the first time in the Division II National Playoffs, a place where the Reddies have been the last 2 years. Snap to Rogers. He gives to Cole. Cole making men miss. A first down. He dove past the 35 to the 37.
Jaquan Cole that time going lateral with the football and making himself small to find that open space and was able to pick up the first down.
7-yard gain by Jaquan Cole. And now Rogers back to throw to the near side. It is dropped by Corey Chappelle. Chappelle was a step to the side of the defender near the 41-yard line, near the sideline. Looks like he had to really stretch for that ball.
Probably not a good throw by Kevin, as Riccardi Joseph was right there and could have easily come up and stepped in front of that ball to get the interception.
Second down and 10, 9 minutes left in the third quarter, 21-20 Ouachita. Two-man backfield, now Chappelle in motion out of the backfield to line up wide right. Snap to Kevin. Here's a blitzer from the far side. Reddies pick it up. The pass is thrown, incomplete, but a flag thrown from the backside official. It'll be interference. Etaj Allen was interfering with an open Darius Davis on the Ouachita side of the field.
Yeah, that time he held his arm down and didn't allow for him to get open, and so that'll be a pass interference.
Holding defense, number 24. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. And an automatic first down.
Okay, it's holding, not pass interference. Either way, he held the receiver up.
It's the exact same play that Allen was called for interference on in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Although that was in the end zone, this one was back on the Reddies side of the field. The Reddies up to their own 47. And Rogers lines up an empty set. Stack up 3 receivers in the left slot. Snap to Kevin, looks to his left, throws to his right. It's batted down to the line of scrimmage. The Reddies had lined up a tunnel screen to Darius Davis, and he had blockers in front of him. Tigers brought 3 linemen. One of them got his hand on the ball.
Yeah, they stacked that left side, that defensive line, and they all came that same way, and they all put their hands up and didn't allow for Kevin to get the pass off.
Barkley Leggins gets credit for the batted down pass. Rogers with a snap. Throws over the middle. Pass is caught. Dustin Holland first down inside the Ouachita 40. Dragged down to the 37. 16-yard play to Dustin Holland, who comes up big again. First down, Henderson.
Dustin Holland said to Coach Calley yesterday, he said, Coach, I'm going to make some plays. This could be my last game. And he's come up big so far in this one.
And that's 4 catches for Holland.
He has over 70 yards of receiving, and he's taken over the team high in receiving yards. Empty set again for Rogers. Holland slot left, Chow slot right, Davis wide to the right. Kevin sets it up, takes the snap. Time to throw, pump fake, short dump, caught by Chouse on a crossing pattern. He runs to the near sideline and is out of bounds at the 27. A 9-yard gain to Mark Chouse, and it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Reddies inside the 30.
Boy, nobody's left this game. In fact, I think people are still coming into this ball game as the berms are getting fuller and fuller around Carpenter Stadium.
And darkness beginning to preside over Arkadelphia as Rogers on 2nd and 1 takes the snap. It's a QB keeper right up the gut. Rogers lowers his head as he barrels forward for the first down. Again, for Rogers. He did have one man he had to step past. That wasn't an easy first down for Kevin.
That didn't work out as well as last week when he ran that.
Last week he took it into the end zone.
Yeah.
This time a gain of about 4 yards. And the Reddies at the 24. Cole's in the backfield. Rogers takes the snap, throws to the flats. Cole to the left, makes the catch at the 25, and he dives to about the 23. Might have been a 1-yard pickup for Henderson State on the swing pass to the running back. Cole heading out of bounds now. Reddies will empty the set. Chouse, slot left, snap, wide left. Holland slot right. Max slot right. And Darius Davis wide right. 2nd and 9. Rogers will not get this play off. Reddies are called for a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 79. It's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
There's the right tackle, Justin Carpenter, on the false start.
I mean, that's
most of the penalties today on Henderson State have come on the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, it's the snap count's not hard. They're not doing a silent count. They're not going on 3. Most of the time, it's been on 1 or 2.
6 penalties on the Reddies. I believe every one of them has been on the offensive line. Empty set again, 2nd and 14. Snap to Rogers, over the middle. Caught by Snap at the 20 and dropped right there. So the Reddies gain 5 yards, and it will be 3rd down and 5 after the catch by Joseph Snap. That's the first time Snap has caught a ball today.
Yeah, in the pregame, I said that watch for Snap to have a big game, and that's the first time he's the second time he's been targeted all day.
Snap last year caught 4 balls for 80 yards against Washita. Now the snap to Rogers, fires over the middle, and it is incomplete. Spectacular play made by the defensive back, Zach Mitchell. He separated Javante Mack from the football. It was a well-thrown ball by Rogers. If Mack hauls it in, it's a first down. Instead, the Reddies will go for a go-ahead field goal by Houston Ray. And Ray, who was good from 47 yards earlier today, this one will be a 37-yard kick from the left hash for the lead. Reddies down by 1. The snap by Steidel, the hold by Chouse. The kick by Ray is up. The kick by Ray is no good. Hooked it wide left. They had the distance and then some. Outside the goalpost by a few yards to the left, and the Tigers retain the lead by 1.
He's not been very good from that hash mark all year long. He's been a solid kicker from the middle of the field and on that right hash mark, but anytime he gets on that left hash mark and he's having to kick, he pulls it every single time.
So with the miss, Ray, 17 of 24 for the year, and Washita's drive starts at their 20. Frazier in the backfield. He'll give to Marks. Marks tries right tackle, and he's dropped at the 21. Not a gain of 1 yard for Brandon Marks.
On the tackle for the Reddies, number 48.
We'll get our station ID in when the time comes. And now it's Washita driving, coming near the 6-minute mark in the 3rd quarter of what has been a pretty quickly moving 3rd quarter here at Stadium in the 88th Battle of the Ravine, where the Reddies are trying for their 5th consecutive win over their cross-street rivals. Tied in motion to the right. Frazier takes the snap. He gives to Marks. Tries left tackle past the 20 at the 23 when he pushed backwards. Not a lot there for Marks on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Well, it's good that the Reddy defense hadn't been out there long here in the 3rd quarter. That was a long drive the Reddy offense went on. Up to the missed field goal, and so trying to keep that Reddy defense fresh.
Ball played between the houses at Washington 23. On third down, the Tigers are 6 and 12. This is a 3rd and 6. Frazier takes the snap. Reddies blitz. Frazier fires the pass, and it is incomplete. Flag thrown from the far side. Chris King covering against Drew White, and he might have reached in a little bit early.
No, that was right. You can't call it. That play's been happening all game, and you're going to throw the penalty flag now. That's terrible.
Pass interference on the defense, number 7. It's a spot foul, so the ball be placed at the spot of the foul. First down, Washington.
Well, the penalty is on Kenrick Burns, who is helping King on the coverage. It's the only interference call in the Reddies this afternoon, and it keeps the Washington Tigers in possession of the ball at their own 34. First down with about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And again, they put the tight end in motion to the left. Frazier fakes the give, throws to the flats. The catch is made by Jalen Jones, and Jones is run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. He picks up about 6.5 yards. So we're starting to get some chirping back and forth between these teams. I guess that would be expected. The thing is, there's actually a lot of well-known between these two schools, a lot of respect between these programs. The hatred is there, but the respect is there too, with all that's at stake. And really, I mean, the championship that matters to these schools more than anything is the championship of Arkadelphia.
Yeah.
And they're starting to get a little bit chippy. 2nd and 4. The tight end to the right, and Marks gets the carry. Marks hit at the 41, keeps his legs moving, and he might have the first down. He needs the 44. That's where the linesmen have put their feet. And the chains will move after a gain of 4 yards by Brandon Marks.
Boy, I tell you, that last penalty for the Reddies, you get them forced in a third down situation and just can't get them off the field. That's a tough way to go out right there. I mean, you gotta find a way to get a stop. The less Kyle Frazier's on the field, the better it is for this Henderson defense.
Marks joins Frazier in the Washita backfield. Reddies blitz again as he throws incomplete. Cam Devereaux on the coverage. He was right in front of Cavante Polk. I think Frazier is lucky that pass was not on the mark. Because if it was on the mark, it would have been intercepted by the Reddies secondary. 2nd down and 10 for Washita from their own 44. They'll take a little extra time here. They're changing their personnel. And bring Ty Towers to line up in the slot left. White, wide left. Reddies look aggressive here. And they bring the blitz as Frazier dumps it off, and it is incomplete. Try to screen to the right side. And Randall Howard, the left defensive end, nearly came up with an interception.
Yeah, he just stayed. He knew the screen was coming, and he actually just stayed out there in the flats and he was in perfect position. In fact, it hit off of his chest plate.
Randall looked a little upset at himself.
Yeah, I would be too.
3rd down and 10, a huge play here for Henderson's defense. Had a chance to end the drive earlier on a 3rd down, but the drive continued on a penalty. Reddies blitz. Here's the pass deep to the left side. It is hauled in for the first down near the Henderson 30-yard line by Drew White. That was a great catch by Drew White. He beat Cam Devereaux, and that was just a jump ball. I don't know if Devereaux ever saw the pass. White looked it right into his hands.
Yeah, I mean, Reddy players were saying he was out of bounds, and some of the coaches are even over there saying he was out of bounds, but that's a heck of a catch.
25 yards on the pass to Drew White. Boy, Frazier just lofted it up there. If Devereaux sees the football, perhaps he's able to make a play on it. 26 yards on the play. Now Frazier takes the snap. Pump fake right. Now he throws to the right, and a leaping catch is made by Avion Hill. Hill angles to the far sideline, and he has the first down inside the 20. Marked out after an 11-yard gain to the Henderson 19. Very nice catch made by Avion Hill. That's his first catch today. He had to leap for it. Frazier really put a lot on that ball. 21-20, Washita leading, driving for the score now. And they're inside the State Farm Red Zone, sponsored by David Boston Insurance. Twins left of Frazier, Keener the running back. Drew White in motion to the right. Frazier takes the snap. He gives, that's Marks. Over the left tackle, lowers his head inside the 15 and dropped at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 yards on first down for Brandon Marks. I wonder if something has happened to Stephen Keener. Right, here comes Keener on the field. We hadn't seen him yet.
Yeah, he hadn't been out there in a while. Marks has been the more productive back here in the second half.
Marks 36 yards on 11 carries. Keener 106 yards on 13 carries. Keener to the right of Frazier. The tight end backs off the line. Now the fake handoff and Frazier running to his right. Frazier inside the 10, dancing to the far sideline and shoulder out of bounds near the 5. Looks like the Reddies are going to be picking up a late hit call. Flag thrown after the hit on Frazier. It certainly looked like there was a late hit. A little shoulder shimmy when Frazier stumbled out of bounds. A penalty on third down allowed the Tiger drive to continue. And now a possible personal foul on Henderson. He's going to move them halfway closer to the goal from the 5.
After the play, personal foul on the defense. Number 6, late hit out of bounds. Half the distance to the goal line. That's an automatic first down, Ouachita.
As Josh Davis has had such a great sophomore season. The linebacker out of El Dorado. Ouachita's drive has brought them inside the 5, 2-3. 9 plays, 66 yards. The drive started back of the Ouachita 20. Line up the I formation. Keener dots the I. And now Frazier steps back behind Keener. Direct snap to Keener up the middle. And he's going to come up short here inside the 1. Got a couple of yards on first and goal. And it's second down for Ouachita. I believe they're inside the 1 yard line here.
Yeah, they're within inches of the goal line.
Well, what creative ways Todd Knight comes up with to get the ball into the hands of Stephen Keener. And again, the I formation. Now Keener comes for the direct snap. Frazier behind the running back. He fumbles the snap, and the Reddies dive for it. But Keener picks it back up. Keener goes down to a knee at the 12. That's a 10-yard loss. And I couldn't see who it was, but one of the Reddies had a chance to just dive on the football rather than try to scoop it up and run down the field.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I believe, I want to say that for the Reddies, that was Randall Howard again. No, he's just coming in, so it wasn't him. It was actually, who's coming off? 94. That's Henry Davis.
Big lucky break, really, from both sides there. For one, Henderson gets a lucky break out of the fumbled snap, and then Ouachita gets even a bigger break that the Reddies could not recover the fumble. 3rd and goal from the 12. Frazier's in the shotgun. He'll drop back to throw. Pump fake. Throws to his left for the end zone, and it is caught by Jalen Jones. Drew White, touchdown Ouachita. There is a flag thrown. I believe that'll be an interference call on the Henderson secondary. A great catch by Drew White on the left side of the end zone. Touchdown Ouachita.
Pass interference, defense, number 33. That penalty will be declined. The touchdown is good.
It was Mike Metter who was called for the interference on Henderson. 7-point game. Shelton Woolley to try to make the point after and make it an 8-point game with 1 minute and 1 second left until the fourth quarter. And Henderson State held scoreless in this third quarter by Ouachita. A snap back to the holder. And the kick by Woolley is good. To step aside with 1:01 left in the third quarter. Ouachita drives for the touchdown. Tigers 28, Reddies 20 in the 88th Battle of the Ravine on the Reddies Radio Network.
Java Primo is amazing coffee and so much more. Visit Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more and discover just what more is. Friday and Saturday nights are ribeye nights. 16-plus ounces of premium bone-in French-cut ribeye steak seasoned with espresso rub and grilled to perfection. Nightly dinner menus of pizza, salmon, tuna, steaks, and more begins at 4 p.m. Located on Main Street in Arkadelphia and on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Java Primo has a little something more just for you.
Is that a faucet running?
That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
This is Coach Scott Maxfield, and you are listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Washita Baptist goes 80 yards in 13 plays. Took them just over 5 minutes to do it, and it was capped off on a 12-yard touchdown on third down. Kyle Frazier to Drew White. Washita leading 28-20. The Tigers have outscored Henderson State 21-3 since the beginning of the second quarter. We're just a minute and 1 second left from the end of the third quarter. The Reddies will return the kick from the 9. Darius Davis brings it in. Angles to his left. Davis at the 20. Davis spinning past one man. Darius still in his feet of the 25. Flag thrown from the backside of Focal. That would be in the vicinity of where holding would usually be called. Penalties really hurt the Reddies on that last defensive drive.
Number 1. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Corey Chappelle picks up the penalty. Penalties for Henderson State starting to pile up now. That's 9 penalties, 61 yards. Washita whistled just 4 times. Well, if you look at how Washita scored on the last drive, and RJ, they did it both ways. They did it on the ground. They did it in the air. And I'd say out of all the scoring drives today for Washita, that was one where they were more difficult to decide what they were going to do.
Yeah. You know, when you look at the missed opportunities the Reddies have had in this game, Phil, I mean, there's been an ample amount that the Reddies have capitalized on this happening.
First down from the 52 seconds left in the third quarter. Reddies takes the handoff. Rogers back to throw. Rogers deep, and it is intercepted at the 40-yard line. He was looking for Darius, but the interception made by Zach Mitchell. Interception at the 41. The first turnover by Henderson State, and this one hurts.
Yeah, that's in Henderson territory.
Well, you could see Rogers forced it. There wasn't a lot of room to drop it into Joseph Snap. There were at least 3 defenders near Joseph. Kevin tried to fit it into a tight window. And the interception is made by Mitchell instead. Mitchell's interception of the year. Tigers by 45 seconds left in the third quarter. The snap to Kyle Frazier, fakes the handoff. He's looking deep. He fires it, and nobody's there. He throws it about 3/4 into the end zone. Nobody was within 5 yards of the football. The closest 2 men of the football were ready defenders, Kenrick Burns and Cameron Devereaux. And that brings up second down and 10 for Washita. Nightfall beginning to settle in here to southwest Arkansas. And the Washita Tigers are a little more than a full quarter away from an outright GAC championship. Still a lot of time left here. We have seen some crazy endings with these two teams recently. Frazier takes the snap, fakes the end around. He's going to carry it himself. Frazier past the 40, down near the 35. And he's down to the 36, and 5 yards to Kyle Frazier. Gives him 19 yards on the ground and 12 carries.
Seems like he's rushed for more yards than that, doesn't it to you, Phil? I mean,
he has rushed for more yards. That's a net. That's net. He has been sacked a couple of times, and of course, a couple of fumbles really going to ruin his rushing numbers. Ball at the Henderson 37. A big 3rd down and 7 here. They need a stop. 3 seconds left in the quarter. 0-0. Don't they get the play off? No, that's it. That's not the third quarter. That's something late on the snap. We'll step aside too. Get your 4 fingers up, and the Reddies need all 4 of them. As we go to the fourth quarter, Washita leads the 88th Battle of Ravine. 28-20, Tigers over the Reddies. This is Henderson State Football on the Reddies Radio Network.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza, so mix it up with our chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, sandwiches, pastas, or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each, and we'll mix stand-up comedy with a robot.
Stuffed cheesy bread and my act have a lot in common. They're both super cheesy.
Tough crowd.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's 8-piece chicken, stuffed cheesy breads, oven-baked sandwiches, pastas in a dish, or medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Handmade pan pizza may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Java Primo is amazing coffee and so much more. Visit Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more and discover just what more is. Friday and Saturday nights are ribeye nights. 16 plus ounces of premium bone-in French-cut ribeye steak seasoned with espresso rub and grilled to perfection. Nightly dinner menus of pizza, salmon, tuna, steaks, and more begins at 4 p.m. Located on Main Street in Arkadelphia and on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Java Primo has a little something more just for you.
Hey, Reddy fans, this is Dijon Benton, and you're listening to Ready Football on the Henderson State Radio Network.
Well, who knows what is on tap for this fourth quarter in the 88th Battle of the Ravine, but Washington will start the fourth quarter with the football at the Henderson 37, leading 28-20. Third down and 6 for the Tigers with Kyle Frazier in the shotgun. Stephen Keener's his running back. He fakes a pass to his right, pumps again, throws to his left, deep in the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Oh, no, there's a penalty.
Another flag thrown.
That's that. I don't understand how you make that call when they're both battling.
Gary Vines was on the coverage for Henderson State. The wide receiver he was covering was Jalen Jones. Well, there was some slapping, hand checking back and forth. And the officials ruled this in favor of Washington.
On the defense, number 3. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Well, the two kinds of penalties that have done Henderson in for the first 3 quarters, RJ, are holding penalties on the offensive line, a couple of false starts, and some interference calls that have been killers.
9 penalties, 61 yards so far for Henderson State.
Ball's placed at the ready 22. Washita by 8 at the start of the fourth quarter. Tight end in motion to the right. Frazier gives to Keener, jumps to the right, is past the 20, and brings tacklers down to the 18.
On the stop for the Reddies.
And the gain for Keener about 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Henderson State led 17-7 after 1 quarter. Washita took the lead a little further past midway in the second quarter. Washita scored the only touchdown of the third quarter. The Tigers have outscored the Reddies 21-3 since the first quarter ended. This will be a direct snap to Keener on 2nd and 6. He has White in motion. He gives to Marks. Brandon Marks tries left tackle. He's past the 15 and twisted down at the first down marker by Kenrick Burns, a gain of 5 yards. They call it a gain of, I think it's a gain of 6 yards. Yes, that is a 6-yard gain and a Washita first down.
Well, Washita's coming in here with a good game plan, that's for sure. They have done a good job of misdirection plays and using that wildcat formation. The Reddies have had a hard time stopping the run.
Almost a 2-to-1 ratio in running plays to passing plays for Washita. They've run 41 times, dropped back to pass 22. And again, it's a direct snap to Keener on 1st and 10 from the 12. Tight end in motion, direct snap. Keener takes it. He runs past the 10, bumps off a tackler, and he's down at the 8. And Keener gains 3 more tough yards. Those are the first yards of positive yardage for Keener in the second half. He gained 100 yards on the nose in the first 2 quarters. Gain of 6 to the Henderson 8. And the Reddies need to find a way to come up with not just a stop, but a turnover here. And they'll put the tight end Spencer Knight in motion to the left. Frazier keeps it himself. He's past the 5. He dives for the end zone. He twists. He stays on his feet, and he is short of the goal line by inches. And at the very last moment, Spencer Knight tried to carry Frazier into the end zone himself.
Yeah, he leaped into the end zone, tried to jump for the line, and was unsuccessful. And Spencer Knight tried to just pick him up while he's in midair.
And the Tigers line up quickly with Frazier under center. Takes the snap, runs over left tackle, and spins into the end zone. Touchdown, Washita. On the QB keeper over left tackle, Kyle Frazier scores. 34-20. Boy, the Reddies find themselves in a position they have not been in the regular season in years now. Down by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Washita with a swinging gate formation. Now they'll line up the good old-fashioned point after for Shelton Woolley. A snap back to Lucas Reed. The hold good. The kick is up, and the kick is no good, wide left. So he misses that, and that'll make it a 2-touchdown game. 34-20, Washita leading with 12:52 to play. We'll take a break on the Henderson State Ready Radio Network.
At Domino's, we're more than just pizza, so mix it up with our chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, sandwiches, pastas, or medium 2-topping pizzas for $5.99 each, and we'll mix stand-up comedy with a robot.
Stuffed cheesy bread and my act have a lot in common. They're both super cheesy. Tough crowd.
Order any 2 or more of Domino's 8-piece chicken, stuffed cheesy breads, oven-baked sandwiches, pastas in a dish, or medium 2-topping pizzas for just $5.99 each. 2-item minimum. Handmade pan pizza may be extra. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Do you have an idea that you would like to see on a t-shirt? Printmania can help you turn your idea into a reality. Printmania offers a variety of t-shirts from you to choose from. We also have personalized service, which will allow you to work with an artist who will help you create your t-shirt. Printmania also does embroidery and engraving. Check out our new location at 624 Main Street or call 246-3803. Printmania, proud supporters of Henderson State University.
Hey Reddies fans, this is Gary Vaughn. Thanks for listening to the Reddies on the Reddies Sports Network.
As we come back from the commercial break, we are very late for a station ID, so let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Ready Sports Network, KYXK FM ESPN 106.9 in Girton, Arkadelphia, and AM 920 KARN, the sports animal in Little Rock.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Well, it's come down to a must-score drive for the Henderson Reddies after Washita Baptist goes 41 yards in 7 plays in 2 minutes and 53 seconds. The score and a 1-yard touchdown run by Kyle Frazier. 34-20, Washita by 2 touchdowns. And the kickoff by Shelton Woolley is received at the 19-yard line by one of the upmen. That's Jaquan Cole jumping past a tackler at the 30 and falling over to the 34. 14-yard return for the Reddies. Henderson State without a point in this second half, and right now needing a touchdown to get within 1 score.
Yeah, they gotta do work quick now. You know, those drives that the Reddies have been so good at as far as scoring quickly, they've got to do that now. There's no more messing around. It's a 14-point game.
And the Reddies line up an empty set for Kevin Rogers. They've only run for 70 yards on 19 carries. Rogers 231 yards in the air, 19 of 30, a touchdown and 1 interception. On a 4-man rush, he fires over the middle, and a leaping catch is made. The short yardage picked up by Mark Chouse. 4 yards on the pass play to Chouse. It's 2nd down and 6. For Chouse, catch number 5. Looks him over 30 yards. 2nd down and 6 from the 39. And 5 wides in for Kevin Rogers. Twins left. He takes the snap. Rogers shuffling his feet as he fires over the middle, and it's tipped in the air and falls incomplete at the Washita 49. And once again, it's Zach Mitchell making a play from defensive back. Reddies were looking for Corey Chappelle cutting over the middle.
You know, Reddy fans are wanting a penalty right there, but, I mean, once the ball touches Chappelle's hands, he can be hit. He's fair game once the ball touches his hands, and that's exactly what Washita did right there.
Reddies 2 for 9 converting 3rd downs. They need 5 yards to keep it going. From their own 39, Rogers drops back. The pocket collapsing. He is hit, and he'll be sacked at the 29. Kyle Lamoth with the Washita sack, and the Reddies did not even gain any yards on this drive. They were moved back after the sack of Rogers. And the punt team comes out. Boy, the offense has been stymied in this second half. This was what happened to the Reddies in their loss to Harding back in week number 8. The second half, they just could not get anything going offensively.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing, I guess you can say, because words can't describe what we're seeing right here. Now,
high snap to the punter, and Latouf picks it up. He looks for a room to get rid of the ball, but he doesn't. He is tackled at the 10-yard line by the Washita coverage. High snap from Corey Steidel, and that just threw Latouf off. Once he recovered the football, there was just nowhere to go. He had 3 white jerseys in his face, and Ouachita has a chance to grab an iron grip on this game from the Henderson 10. A disastrous play on special teams. And up until that play, Henderson did a very good job really neutralizing the return teams of Ouachita. Of course, that's all about a bad snap. Frazier takes the snap. He gives to Brandon Marks. He has a hole past the 5 and knocked down at the 2. Gain of about 9 yards. Call it a gain of 8 yards to the 2-yard line. And it is 2nd and goal. 2-touchdown game. The Reddies, with all their offensive fireworks, it would be tough to come down from 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Frazier with a tight end in motion, lined up on the pistol, gives to Marks, up the middle with a head down. He's hit and pushed backwards, and he won't make it in. Tried a second opportunity to dive past the goal line, and he was stopped again. And it is 3rd down and goal from the 1. Big Henry Davis coming on the field. Davis lining up at nose tackle next to DeQuellen Scott. Keener dots the I. Frazier's under center. And now he puts Frazier behind Keener. Direct snap. Keener up the middle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Ouachita. It is 40-20. Tigers. The Ouachita Tigers go 10 yards in 3 plays, with Stephen Keener running for his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Reddies find themselves looking up at Ouachita by 3 scores and 10 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. The point after by Shelton Woolley is good this time. And we will take a break with Ouachita leading by 3 touchdowns. 10:20 to play in the 4th quarter. Ouachita 41, Henderson 20. This is Henderson State football on the Reddies Radio Network.
You're born amazing. And at Baptist Health, we want to keep you that way. In fact, that's our mission. To not only provide the most skilled doctors and nurses to heal you from sickness or injury, and comprehensive care to support your recovery, but also to be your guide to health. Also, you can keep on inspiring, keep on reaching, and keep on amazing. See some of Baptist Health's amazing stories at keeponamazing.com.
Brookshire's proudly supports the Henderson State Reddies football team as they take the field this fall and look to repeat as the Great American Conference champions. Go deep and save with our wide variety of produce and fresh-cut meats that are perfect for grilling. Don't break the bank. Break tackles this football season and save money at Brookshire's. Brookshire's has been bringing fresh food to the table since 1928, and we're proud to be your hometown grocer. Don't get called for delay of game. Find all of your pregame needs at Brookshire's today. Share meals, share life with Brookshire's, and go Reddies!
Ready fans, this is Joseph Snap. Thanks for listening to Henderson State football on the Ready Sports Network.
Well, a surprising second half here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium. Now, the Reddies have not been a very good second half team this year, but you wouldn't expect them to be outscored 20-0 since action started after halftime. But that's what's happened here. Henderson's offense has gone nearly nowhere in the second half, and Ouachita has scored 3 unanswered touchdowns.
You know, I don't remember in the 4 years of us doing football for the Reddies, Phil, the Reddies ever being down by this much.
Well, they need a quick score here. And the kickoff returned from the 14-yard line by Javante Mack. Juke move at the 25. Looking to at least spin past another man, but no. Dropped at the 26, Javante Mack. Henderson will get the ball back with 10:13 to play, trailing by 21. 41 points put up by the Ouachita offense, and that's 2 weeks in a row that the Henderson defense has allowed 41. Previously, they'd allowed no more than 28 points in a game. And this game today, out of the 11 we've seen this year, just the 3rd that a Division II team has scored, the 4th where a Division II team has scored over 20 against Henderson. Kevin Rogers in the shotgun with an empty set. Reddies need a quick score and then a stop. And then to do it all over again. Rogers back to throw over the middle, and an incomplete pass thrown towards Javante Mack. Reddy fans wanting a flag on Alex Myers. Myers, the freshman defensive back, made a diving play, and apparently did not get to Mack before the football arrived. No flag. It's 2nd and 10.
That's kind of where I've been at all night. I've been wondering where those flags for Henderson have been.
Rogers 20 of 33, 236 yards, but it's been a very slow second half for Kevin and the entire Ready offense. Now Kevin gives to Rodney Bryson. Nothing there for Rodney. He's stopped short of the 30. Made it right back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gained a half yard. And it's 3rd and long for Henderson.
Another tackle for the Tigers, number 56, Dave.
You have your halftime stats available here, RJ. Really? I mean,
right here.
I can't imagine what Henderson has actually gained here in this.
They haven't gained very much.
Haven't gained much at all. Rogers empties the set. 3rd and 9. The snap. Looking for someone. He dumps it off, and it's caught by Davis at the 35. Looks to get to the 39, and he has the first down. Out of bounds of the 41.
Total yards in the first half for Henderson. They had 200 total yards of offense.
So 78 yards of offense in the second half until this play to Davis.
Yeah.
Amazing, really amazing for a school that's averaged over 500 yards of offense per game. Well, they got the first out of the 41 on the 5th reception by Davis. Kevin back to throw again, over the middle, and it's batted away by the defensive back. Again, Ready fans wondering where the flag is. Jeremy Small got his hand in, knocking the ball away from Joseph Snap on a crossing pattern. There was definitely contact there. I think the question is, was contact before Small got his hand on the ball or after? Well, the officials saw contact after the ball arrived. So Rogers on 2nd and 10 takes the shotgun snap, looking to his left. He throws, and it's caught by Mark Chouse, running out of bounds near the 50. Needs the Washita 49 for the first down. And it looks like that's where he's marked out of bounds. A first down for Henderson at the OBU 49-yard line. 41-20 is the score. Washita leading. Already we've seen a few handfuls of Ready fans make their way to their vehicles, try to escape the cold. Snap to Rogers, 3-man rush. He fires, and it's caught by Dustin Holland before being somersaulted down at the 43-yard line. Reddies move it 7 yards on the play to Holland. It's Dustin's 5th catch, over 80 yards now. 2nd down and 3. Clock winding to 8:48. A deep pass play for the Reddies hasn't been there much. Snap to Kevin. Steps up in the pocket. Kevin's going to run for it. First down past the 39-30. Flag thrown as Rogers goes out of bounds inside the 30. The flag is thrown right at the 30-yard line between the hashes. I would only imagine that would be a holding on Henderson. Judging by the way penalties have been called today, I would assume that would be the call. Henderson's been called for 10 penalties, just 4 on Washita. Waiting for the word from head official Dean Belcher. Belcher's still taking a look.
Holding. Defense, number 18. That penalty will be declined. The results of the play are a first down.
Mike Williamson, the linebacker, called for the defensive holding on Washita. And that gives the Reddies a first down. Moves the ball to the 28. A lot of time off the clock for this drive. For nearly 2 minutes, you need quick scores. Snap to Kevin, gets rid of the ball fast. Chouse with a leaping catch at the 24. Out of bounds at the 21. For Chouse, a gain of 7. Out of bounds to stop the clock. 2nd down and a short 3 for Henderson State. For Chouse, 6 catches to lead the team 40 yards. And more 5-wide set for Rogers, who drops back. He's pressured, steps up in the pocket. Now he runs back, and he's dropped for a loss.
I don't understand why he ran backwards.
Boy, I mean, Kevin had some room to run for positive yardage. And he wanted to stay behind the line of scrimmage to throw the football. And so when he runs back to stay behind the line of scrimmage, he is dropped for a sack.
Yeah, that's he could have just picked up positive yardage and kept running forward. And he got a long 3rd and 10.
Back to the Henderson 28, loss of 6. That's 3rd and 10. Wayman Johnson Jr. on the sack for Washita. Rogers drops back, steps up in the pocket, fires over the middle, and a leaping catch made for the first down that is Javante Mack with his second catch today.
Yeah, the Reddies got to hustle things up, though. I mean, if they want to try to remotely come back in this thing, they got to get back to that line of scrimmage.
Reddies in the State Farm Red Zone, sponsored by your local State Farm agent, David Bost Insurance, 870-246-5111 for David Bost. Rogers looks to dump it off. It's intercepted and returned the other way by Kyle Lamoth past the 40, 45, 50 and tripped up by Kevin Rogers in Henderson territory around the 45. Just trying to throw a simple screen pass to the flats, and Lamoth was right there to haul it in. And thanks to Kevin Rogers hustling after it, Rogers saves a touchdown, at least for now. So Rogers with his second interception of this half. Henderson, who didn't turn the ball over in the first half, does it twice after halftime. And on a drive where the Reddies desperately needed to put up some points, Washita's defense not only stands tall, but they take the football back. Kyle Frazier lines up with Keener behind him. Gives to Keener right up the gut. Keener hit after the transfer. He's stopped at the 42 and a gain of 2 yards for Stephen Keener. And if you're Washita here, it's all about keeping the clock moving. Right now, inside 7 minutes and rolling.
You can start seeing OBU or Henderson fans making their ways towards the exits. This one's over. I mean, you hate to say it with 6.5 minutes left, but you're down 3 scores. This one's over with.
Yeah, a couple years ago, it was 3 years ago across the street, Henderson blew what was a 19-point lead in the second half, but it wasn't this late.
No, it was at halftime.
And Henderson ended up winning, stopping Chris Rycraw at the 1, and probably the most legendary play in Battle of Ravine history. Frazier gives, and a gain of about 4 yards on the play for Washita on the ground. Christian Love credit on the tackle. It will be 3rd down and 6. Washita 9 of 15 converting 3rd downs. That's been one big reason Washita has the lead. They have kept the Reddy defense on the field quite a bit. 3rd and 6. In the slot left is Pope. The snap, flag thrown as Frazier fires deep on the right side, and a leaping catch is made by Drew White at the 15, out of bounds at the 12. That was all about a great timing of his leap by Drew White. 28-yard pass play pending the penalty. Penalty thrown back at the 41.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 77. 5 men in the backfield. Be a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
It's Mitch Bledsoe, the backup right tackle, called for being in the wrong spot.
Phil, I don't know if you mentioned earlier, but tonight's attendance, 12,228.
A huge crowd today, and there are certainly a lot of them still left. It was one of the highest attended games at Carpenter Haygood Stadium history. In fact, it is. This is the highest paid attendance in stadium history by about 200. Frazier back to throw in 3rd and 11. Deep to the right side, and there was some tripping up. Flag thrown on Chris King.
Wow.
Cavante Pope got tied up with the feet of Zach Richardson, not Chris King. It was Zach Richardson. Really just looked like it was their feet that hit. I don't think Richardson did anything to warrant a penalty, but he's going to get whistled again. No foul. All right. They saw the same thing we did.
The pass was incomplete.
Yeah, I was about to say,
4th down.
If you call a penalty on that, you got it in for somebody, because that right there by no means was a penalty. They're just running along and he trips over his own 2 feet.
So the Reddies are positioned to get the ball back. 5:25 to play.
Did you say that was the largest crowd in Carpenter Haygood or in the rivalry altogether?
Well, I would imagine to be in the rivalry altogether, but 12,035 2 years ago. They got 12,228 today. So it's the largest crowd in Carpenter Haygood history. Here's the punt, and it bounces inside the 15, rolling to the far sideline, out of bounds at the 7. Another fine punt by Shelton Woolley. They'll be saying goodbye to 14 seniors. They're playing their last regular season game for the Henderson State Reddies. And you know a lot of the names that we're going to be saying goodbye to Guys like Kevin Rogers and Darius Davis, Wesley Brady, great defensive back, Cameron Devereaux playing his last game here at Henderson, Chris King, Blake Lopez, Zach Richardson, who've come up huge in the secondary for 4 years now, Mike Metter, defensive back from Charleston, Dijon Benton from Benton, who played at Washita for his first 3 years, Glennon Bobo, Mark Gonzalez, John Guerra. Rogers throws to the far side. It is caught and run out of bounds near the 15-yard line is Mark Chouse. We'll be seeing Chouse for another season. Other seniors, Dustin Holland, whose story has gone nationally this year. Charles Plaster, Jimmy Jean, and Jason Smith all playing their last games in the regular season. And we underline regular season as Rogers dumps it off for a first down. Holland with a catch outside the 20, pushes a man out of the way and is dropped to the 22. So first down to Holland and a gain of 9 yards.
Well, Kevin Rogers in his final game as a Reddie has now surpassed the 300-yard passing mark. But I don't imagine he's going to want to remember those 2 interceptions he's thrown tonight.
26 times in his career, Rogers with over 300 yards passing. Drops back again. Rogers fires over the middle. Leaping catch by Holland. First down past the 35. Gain of 11 yards to Dustin Holland.
Boy, Darius Davis today just pretty much shut down. 5 receptions, 84 yards. And that's all come sparingly. I mean, it's never been anything where Darius has just broken free on anybody.
Davis will finish with over 1,200 yards this season, over 3,700 yards for his career. Rogers fires to the near side, incomplete, out of the reach of Mark Chouse. And that'll bring up second down and 10. Now, we emphasize regular season games. If the Reddies fall here today, national playoffs are out of the picture, but there are a couple of Division II bowl games that the Great American Conference is contracted with, and we'd imagine to see the Reddies go to one of them.
Yeah, you've got the Live United Bowl in Texarkana, and you've got the Heart of Texas Bowl.
Rogers back to throw over the middle, incomplete. Dustin Holland wondering where the penalty was.
And they got twisted around before the ball had gotten there, and there was no penalty. It's I don't know. Some of the penalties today have been questionable. Let's just put it that way.
Coverage by Mike Williamson for Washita. The penalties have been a big story today. On a 2-1 margin, Henderson penalized more times than Washita, 10-5. Snap to Rogers on 3rd and 10, drops back, rolls to his right. Kevin fires deep down the right sideline, incomplete. Coverage on Javante Mack from Alex Myers. And on 4th down and 10, the punt team comes on. 4:19 remaining in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. Well, this one certainly, I wouldn't say it's lived up to the billing of as well of a played game as we might have expected, but there's no doubt about it. For my money right now, RJ, this Washita team looks like the real thing. This is the best Washita team we've seen in 4 years.
Yeah, no, you're right. And, a
snap back to the punter Latouf. A wobbly kick, bounces outside the 40. No return man there. Rolls past the 30, inside the 25, down to the 22.
And the thing about it, Phil, is they're going to get a home playoff game in the second round of the playoffs because they'll be a top seed in the region. And so they'll get a first-round bye and get a home playoff game in the second round at Cliff Harris Stadium. And, they'll get to experience what Henderson's experienced the last couple of years of having that home playoff game and see how they stack up against some of the other conferences around the country.
Washita takes over at their own 22. First down for Kyle Frazier, who turns and gives the ball to Stephen Keener. Keener waits for the hole to open up. He carries it past the 25 to the 26. 4-yard gain by Stephen Keener. Well, we've seen the last 2 years in the national playoffs, RJ, is that the Reddies have gone up against teams, 2 years ago, against Northwestern Missouri, a team that just, the Reddies could not stop them on the ground.
Yeah.
Last year, mistakes and penalties did the Reddies in against St. Cloud. It's a different thing when you go into the national playoffs, and Washita is going to find it much more difficult no matter who they play at home. And they'll have a couple of weeks to wait about it. That playoff game will be the Saturday after Thanksgiving at Cliff Harris Stadium. The give to Keener. Keener hesitates, barrels over left tackle, and he stopped short of the 30 at the 29-yard line. And if you're Henderson, really, I mean, the Division II bowl games don't get played until December. So it's the same idea as the Division I bowl games, more practice time. You're not on national television, and I think the excitement of a bowl game between D2 and Division I is much different. There's no doubt the Reddies would much rather be in the national playoffs.
Well, if you think about it, Phil, you know, the bowl game may even be, it's not a guaranteed thing, because with the loss today, Henderson's going to finish third in the Great American Conference behind Harding.
Timeout taken by Washita. We'll step aside as well. 2:40 to play. 41-20. Washita leading Henderson in the 88th Battle of the Ravine. This is Henderson State Football on the Reddies Radio Network.
Wendy's presents Red in Best Food Forward. Hey, Red, can you help me make my online dating profile more mature?
Well, that's a Wendy's smoked Gouda chicken sandwich, right? Try a foodie with a refined palate.
Nice.
And what did you do yesterday?
I visited my mom.
Ooh, family-oriented.
And brought her my laundry.
Roy, you're 34.
And a half. Wendy's deliciously grown-up new smoked Gouda chicken layers smoky Gouda cheese, caramelized onion sauce, and Dijon aioli on a soft brioche bun.
Now that's better.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Java Primo is amazing coffee and so much more. Visit Java Primo Coffee House, Cafe, and more and discover just what more is. Friday and Saturday nights are ribeye nights. 16 plus ounces of premium bone-in French-cut ribeye steak seasoned with espresso rub and grilled to perfection. Nightly dinner menus of pizza, salmon, tuna, steaks, and more begins at 4 p.m. Located on Main Street in Arkadelphia and on Central Avenue in Hot Springs. Java Primo has a little something more just for you.
This is Kendrick Bryans. Welcome back to Henderson State Football on the Reddies Sports Network.
3rd and 3 as the Tigers give the ball to Stephen Keener. Keener carries it for the first down pass, the 33 to the 35, a gain of 5 yards for the Tigers as they keep the drive going and the clock rolling inside 2:30. Washita 41, Henderson 20.
Well, here's a good little bit of information for you. Troy Mitchell just passed this along. Dustin Holland is now sitting second all-time in receiving yards at Henderson State.
Right behind Davis and in front of Robert Jordan as the flag is thrown from the backside official and a false start on Washita, moving back 5 yards to the 30.
Dustin Holland finishes his career, and well, maybe he may get a couple more, but right now with 2197 total yards in Henderson State history.
And Holland with 104 yards today, which gives Dustin 100-yard games now in 2 of the last 3 weeks. Nice way to finish a collegiate career. 1st and 15 for the Tigers, approaching 2 minutes to play. Frazier takes the snap and gives to Stephen Keener over right tackle. Keener jumping past the 30, short of the 35. They'll mark him at the 35-yard line. He was pushed backwards initially, but as we've seen Keener do all day long, he never stops those legs moving. This Washita team, RJ, they're a little machine-like.
Yeah.
This is a hard-nosed football team. And they are going to be very tough in the national playoffs. I mean, for one thing, they create a lot of turnovers, and they haven't done it today by pressuring Kevin Rogers all that much. It's just been very solid coverage in the secondary.
Yeah, no, you're right. The defense is good. They are a solid football team.
Brandon Marks gets the carry on 2nd and 10. Over the 35 and down to the 38.
I think the biggest thing for Washita is they've got 2 very, very quality running backs. I mean, when you look at it, they've got Keener and Marks, who both they've got great moves in the backfield. They've got a ton of speed. And then you've got your X factor in Kyle Frazier, who can throw the ball. And whenever things break down, he can run with it as well. And I mean, this is a good football team.
Well, seen across the field here at Carpenter Haygood Stadium is about to go nuts. The purple-clad Washita Tiger fans are beginning to jump up and down on the bleachers as the Tigers go in the ground again on 3rd down and 7. And they'll only make it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain will bring up 4th down and 22 seconds on the clock. And that is going to be the last play of the 88th Battle of the Ravine. The Henderson State Reddies will finish the regular season at 9-2. And the Washita Baptist Tigers are the outright champions of the Great American Conference, finishing the year 10-0 as the Tiger players, Tiger students, Tiger coaches come into a mob scene at the Henderson Ready logo right at midfield. Final score today, the Ouachita Tigers 41 and the Henderson Reddies 20.
Hunter Lively's going to be catching up with head coach Scott Maxfield somewhere down the field.
It is quite a scene right now, and a lot of these Ouachita students, many of these students don't even know what this feeling is like to have defeated your arch rival. Henderson had defeated the Tigers 4 consecutive years, and this is a position that the Ouachita Tiger players have been hoping to be in since 2009.
I have no idea. Hunter, we've got your mic turned on. We can't find you, so you just go with it when you've got Coach Maxfield.
Hunter obviously in a sea of students down there right now.
There are a ton of people down there right now.
It's really a great scene. Henderson players are shaking hands with any Ouachita player they can find. It was a little tough to find the Ouachita players because right now they're mobbed by a sea of Ouachita students.
Yeah, I don't know where Hunter is down there.
I don't think it's going to happen, in all honesty. I don't think it's going to happen. Some of the Reddies right now being consoled on the field by their loved ones in a very tough loss. And the way this season ends with a 41-20 loss against the Ouachita Tigers. All right, we've got to take a couple of breaks. We're a little bit late on our commercial, so let's step aside. We'll come back and describe the scene a little bit more before the start of our Benvenuti's postgame show. 41-20 Ouachita is the outright Great American Conference champions, and congratulations are due to the Ouachita Baptist Tigers. We'll come back after the break on the Reddies Radio Network.
Do you have an idea that you would like to see on a t-shirt? Printmania can help you turn your idea into a reality. Printmania offers a variety of t-shirts from you to choose from. We also have personalized service, which will allow you to work with an artist who will help you create your t-shirt. Printmania also does embroidery and engraving. Check out our new location at 624 Main Street or call 246-3803. Printmania, proud supporters of Henderson State University.
Is your bank changing names again? Do you see account charges and lots of fees in your future? Well, if that's the case, then it's time to pick the bank that you really want.